All right, hit me with the hardcore.
Hey, yup.
Hell, the raw today.
Hell yeah.
The drama remix. The Gahhd Cast. Crtr One Got Beats back in the building. Family reunion.
Cheers.
Big Brooklyn. Rest in peace, Big. I ain't even. I forgot the Brooklyn Big connection.
Yeah. R.I.P. Big.
And it's March 2.
And it's March.
Pisces season.
March Madness.
Yeah.
Let them violins go.
Trumpets, baby.
The Great American Hip Hop Debate Podcast. F, turn my mic up.
You heard of us?
Mississippi?
Oh, we could talk about that.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Big.
That's right.
Facts.
Glad.
And to the
Let it rock, brother F. I need to hear my opera voice. Shout out to all the girl dads.
Anyone Tyson Jordan.
Joe Carter album out now.
one.
All DSPs, go download, go stream. Videos are out, go watch those.
Go run that up more than once though.
Facts.
Caught that.
One Got Beats survived the desert, baby. He back. Woo!
He back from that DMT. We gonna get into it, baby. Big Brooklyn. BK Lynn.
Shout out to Busta Rhymes, underrated GOAT.
Big fact.
Oh, most definitely. Brooklyn.
Let it play, brother F. Let it play. She's gonna hit it now.
What's your favorite rapper right here?
It's the opera voice that does it. You could cut it, brother F. You could cut it. So the reason I played that song is because that version was available on the single when it dropped in '97.
Mm-hmm.
Single tape I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And obviously I don't have the single tape anymore, and I've been looking for that specific version for mad long. Not like on the video, because that's actually the video version. If you watch the video, it has the opera voice.
Yeah, you can see the ghost kind of singing and shit. Yeah.
It wasn't on streaming. Recently, I want to say within the last year, Puff Daddy put up the 25th anniversary of No Way Out.
Right.
And it had that version.
So,
and I just found it this week, so I was mad soup. And I was like, yes, I need that. Something about that opera voice.
You played that on your show yet?
No, because on AMP it's mad fucking hard to find. Victory comes up like mad times, and it's hard to find it.
Okay.
Shout out to that version. Shout out to whoever did that opera voice. Rest in peace, Biggie. Shout out to Joe Carter in the building.
Cheers.
Shout out to One Got Beats in the building.
Welcome back,
my brother.
Thank you.
What up, Bree?
Shout out to Bludshot on the check-in, getting better, getting healthy.
Right.
Was cracking. Yo, I'm on my way back from Miami as we speak, man.
Oh, shit. This guy was starting trouble out there.
Transporting.
For real, this guy.
He was getting that tan on.
Yo, how many bricks you got?
Allegedly.
He was getting his tanner on, not his tan on.
That's the new challenge.
I was
It ain't
watching the
another
World
one, it's
Baseball.
allegedly.
It's always
I was
allegedly.
watching the WBC, the World Baseball Classic.
Oh, y'all took an L.
Oh, you super Dominican.
Yes.
You super
Y'all
Dominican.
took an L
All I'm
last
about
night.
to say is DR Venezuela. You know how many females was in the building?
Oof.
It was crazy.
Shout out to
Yo, you talking kind
Venezuela.
of reckless, yo. You must be in the car away from the house and shit, right?
Yeah, that's light work. Listen, it was crazy in there.
No, but shout out to Venezuela. That is the first time in the history that they beat DR.
That's crazy.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Yeah, the
Shouts
team
to them.
the teams were stacked. Yo, it was a good game, bro. It was
Shouts
crazy.
to them.
Yeah, bro. So now I don't understand how this WBC thing works. Is that like Like World Cup, if you lose, you play again, or is one loss to go home?
No.
It's round robin.
Multiple losses.
So hold on.
Multiple losses.
So it's
Right.
got like
a point,
like a stage round, and then you have the single elimination rounds after that, right?
I believe so. I believe so.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, shout out to everybody participating.
Facts.
Shout out to all the countries. Puerto Rico got a team?
They should.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Let's go, Puerto Rico.
They are, baby.
They beat Nicaragua 9-1 yesterday. They won it, bro.
As
They
it
play
fucking
Venezuela
should be.
tonight.
Oh, let's
they
go.
play
We're
Venezuela
gonna
tonight.
beat them to pay them back for y'all then.
Oh.
Yeah, PR no joke, bro. That
We
team
got
is good
your
as
back.
hell.
PR,
Let's go.
DR. All right, cool.
Yeah, Venezuela is the wave because they switched their currency over to Bitcoin too. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, shit's crazy ever since
Yeah.
Hugo Chavez died. This shit's crazy. It's crazy over there.
Are they rioting over there right now?
They were
I think I
for
saw
a
a
mad
video like
long.
that.
They probably
Oh,
still
man,
are.
yeah.
Yeah, they probably still are. It's fucked up over
it's
there.
crazy over there.
Shout
yeah.
out
Yeah.
to all the Venezuelans.
It's like the Wild West over there right
Yeah,
now.
you seen
Because
the
they got no
pictures?
structure.
Right now, their streets are littered with
Yeah, yeah.
money. Their money's all over the floor because
Yeah.
it's like
They're paper
worthless.
money.
Yeah,
Paper
yeah,
money.
The
yeah.
actual, their
Like
old
the
currency.
fiat currency,
Yeah, yeah.
that shit is
Yeah.
a dub out
It's
there.
worthless.
Uh,
Yeah, it's worthless.
So like I've seen pictures of like that, like their streets
Yeah,
just
yeah, just littered with that
yeah.
shit. Word facts.
And imagine you got so much bread saved up in that form of currency.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
To wake
Did they
up-
transfer it to Bitcoin? Like, let's say you had a bank account and it had 100 stacks. in
I
there.
believe that whatever you had
Yeah.
got transitioned over into Bitcoin. Yeah,
So that's the official currency now. is
that's
Bitcoin
their
now.
official currency. Yeah.
But that's only in the
crazy.
banking system. So if you had it just in the shoebox,
That's what I'm
or-
saying.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
You had it in
exactly.
the crib, it's
That shit
over.
is over.
That shit became
Yeah.
toilet paper.
Oh wow, that sucks.
Yeah, man. A lot of people abandoning the country too. Like you see these buildings with like thousands of units, and you only see like it's only partially packed. You know, it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, well, shout out to them. Welcome world to episode 139 of the Great American Hip Hop Debate Podcast. I'm the brother Burnz. I already introduced my co-host Bludshot, recovering and coming back from Miami.
Yeah.
We got our
Facts.
guest, One Got Beats, and Joe Carter. And to the right, I got my co-host, VSOP.
What would it be, man?
Dawn.
Repping that LBE, rocking that MDMA.
And we're going to get into a gang of topics. Yo, speaking of money on the floor, yesterday, we was out to dinner, right? And,
Yeah.
I went to the bathroom and I came back and there was $1 on the floor.
Yeah.
So I picked it up thinking like, oh shit, I found $1.
Oh no,
As I
no.
took 5 steps more, the whole floor was full of dollars. I was like,
yeah.
oh, I ain't finding dollars.
Yeah, somebody just
Strip
literally
club?
it. Nah,
That's
we
what I
weren't
thought.
at-
Yeah,
we
that's where I thought he was going with it. He was like,
Nah.
speaking of money on the
Nah.
floor, I'm like, oh,
Nah. We
Strip
weren't at
club
that kind of
story.
establishment yesterday. No.
Hey, you stealing stripper money?
No, I wasn't in the strip
I was
club.
like, where's the story?
No,
He's
Yo,
following
real?
the stripper
I
trail.
think I
and shit.
would, I think I would steal stripper money.
I'm like,
Another
you know,
piece of
you
candy?
get kicked out the club for that.
No, I
right?
think I would do that if like
Yeah, word up.
Oh, steal stripper money?
if you seen the pictures they put out of John Morant in the strip club that night, the way that floor looked, I would have stolen.
Yeah,
That
there's
was
a
just
video.
You would act like you fell and then been like, oh,
I would have put some gum on the bottom of my shoes and shit.
Yeah, there was a
Nice.
video of a guy that was tipping Shorty with the money that was already on the floor. He was grabbing it and throwing it in the air again. Yeah.
Oh man, you got to tip them with the $1 with the string on it.
Oh, that's the Al Bundy trick.
Yeah,
bro. Look
bro.
at you.
that's that old Looney Tunes shit.
Reel it in.
Stupid.
Shout out to Al Bundy, man,
Al
the legend,
Bundy,
the
yo.
hero.
Yeah,
You know
Al
what I'm
Bundy's a fucking hero.
Speaking of John Morant, he just got dropped by Powerade after his
He's lucky.
after his controversy, and the brother Joe Carter just put us on to that John Morant. He went to what, alcohol rehab? They said
Yeah.
he signed up for alcohol rehab.
Yeah, supposedly.
Which
yeah.
is funny because the owner of the strip club where he did all the crazy shit, he just put out them pictures I told y'all about, and he put out a statement. He said while John Morant was there, he blew $50K.
Sheesh.
He was a super respectful young man. He called
Uh-huh.
him, and he said he didn't drink at all.
Hey,
That's bullshit.
you think he was paid to say that?
I think so.
Who, the club owner?
Yeah.
I don't know. He already got the
Yo.
50K.
Exactly.
You don't blow
So he could come back.
50
Super respectful until
Be like,
he went online.
no, he was amazing. Exemplary
sober?
young man.
What you said, Blood? I'm
no way.
sorry. You don't think he'll act like that sober?
I said, nah, you don't blow 50 bands and pull out a pistol on live and be so. There's no way.
Yo, listen.
I don't know if
I mean,
I never partied with John Morant, but he didn't look drunk to me.
he didn't look drunk to me.
He looked like
Yeah.
regular game face. Like,
And if you see him like during the game, he's just like that, like a suit young kid.
Yeah.
I feel like that's become the culture with young people. Like they're doing all this wild shit on live and on streaming.
Yeah.
You know
Oh
what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
definitely. Everything is
So-
attention based.
Plus, it's like I was saying too the last time, or we said it on the Cafecito show. Like that's the culture out there. Like where he's at in Memphis, it's open carry state. Everybody
That
got
too.
guns. You know what I'm saying? So to
wasn't
him,
even wilding
but
out.
he
That's
wasn't in
regular.
Memphis.
He wasn't in Memphis.
That's
He
the
wasn't
thing.
in
Yeah,
Memphis.
that's where it changes now. Where
Where
now
was-
you could get charged with like criminal shit because you not in Memphis no more.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And then they saying that for you to even have it where you had it at, you had to have it on a team bus.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's-
exactly.
yeah,
So
yeah.
he had
And you
that
crossing
sense.
state lines and shit. You know what I mean?
they
So it's
gonna-
different
they gonna
now.
pile up
It's different.
charges
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
Yeah,
crazy.
come on, you
You
don't
fucking
get,
up, bro.
you don't
Yeah.
give people that ammunition, man. You play this up.
And I don't know if you've heard this quote from Carmelo Anthony, but he said that. Oh shit! Yo, Young Rico, my bad, bro. Let me call you back.
I thought that was me.
My fault, yo.
I start checking my shit like, oh,
Doug, you hung up on him?
My bad, Bloodshot. I hit the wrong button, bro.
What happened with Carmelo Anthony?
Carmelo Anthony said he had a meeting with David Stern, and David Stern told him, "Yo, when you signed that contract, ever since that day, I know where you be at. I know where you live. I know when you wake up, when you go to sleep,
yeah.
when you take a piss." And
Get the
Carmelo was
fuck
like,
outta here.
"From that day forward, I knew the NBA fucked with the feds."
Oh, I
Yeah,
believe that.
yeah, yeah.
Ooh, you see?
Oh, facts.
So now
believe
John
that.
Morant is apparently going through the same
Yeah,
NBA
'cause, yeah.
fed shit. But shout out to John Morant, bro. I fuck with John Morant.
Nah, I've been rocking with him since Murray State, bruh. So
I don't
that's
think
why
he did
said,
anything wrong
like,
other
it's-
than show his gun on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just a
He's
dumb
a
move.
beast.
Where was this at?
He's a beast.
Was it in Colorado? I
Yeah,
think it was in Colorado.
Colorado.
That was in
yeah.
Colorado.
Strip club?
Yeah, it was in
Yeah, it was
Colorado.
Colorado.
Yo, you know who had a good quote? Gilbert Arenas was on Bomani Jones on HBO.
Yeah.
And Gilbert Arenas, he had his issues with guns in the locker room.
Yeah.
And he said, listen, all I got to say about John Morant is, you know, you got to have a team that builds you up around you, you know, not young kids that's going to drag you down with them. Like, look at LeBron. He has his team and what they've built over time.
Right,
And,
right.
and that's what John needs to concentrate on. And that's it, bro.
True. That's a fact.
But
That's-
everybody's not LeBron. Like
No,
I feel like
And
LeBron led his guys and told them like, "Yo, you go learn this and you go
Yeah.
learn that, and we'll make it all profitable." And Ja's also very young, like
very young, yeah.
minded. I think like young mentally.
No, he is young-minded because I feel like when Braun even came up out of high school, he had a plan with his group.
Exactly.
Like even in interviews, he was like, "Yo, you know, you're gonna see us. We all gonna be in a position of power. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I'm not doing, he gonna do for me. Whatever he not doing, whatever we can't do, somebody else is gonna take a hold of that." So they was already prepared to fill in each other's spaces or blanks.
Exactly.
If you're not wired like that, to try to figure that out, like you said, if you don't have good people in your ear, then you kind of get reckless.
Yeah. And who knows if John Morant even got a crew? Maybe he's just a fucking loner that
Now he
likes
does.
strippers.
Look, he always
Nah,
with his
he
pops
does,
and stuff
he
like that.
does.
It seemed like his crew is more family based, if anything.
But
Now
it's
his
like,
boys was on the court wilding when he was gonna brawl with Shannon Sharp, and then they pointed a laser beam at the Indiana Pacers bus. So they've been wilding for like the last 2 months.
You know what? Yeah, because they did say that the NBA been trying to rein him in,
Right.
and this is they doing now the suspensions and stuff because he hasn't taken the warnings.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, apparently it's been stuff happening behind the scenes. So probably stuff that we don't know, and it's only coming to light now that this whole thing is a story. It's like, nah, he been wilding.
Yeah.
This is just what we.
But
gotta
also
do now.
he's so like popular and almost like a face of the league.
Oh,
at
yeah.
this
well, that's
moment,
the thing. Yeah.
that
definitely.
they also can't like full out punish him. They can't fucking.
No.
They can't treat him like they treated Kyrie.
No, I feel like what happened was they was in a position of putting him forward, giving him the shoe deal. Every time you go on YouTube, you see videos of him, especially he has his own vlog, but you see videos of him, you know, in restaurants, interacting with the people. So they was trying to build him as a community person anyway.
Right.
This kind of taints his image, but like you said, I don't think that they're going to throw him out the door because he in the beginning stage of a lot of stuff that they was trying to put him in, especially now that the Kyrie stuff, they trying to walk back from certain things. Now You know, so I want to see. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see how they maneuver around this.
Yeah.
Having him become the face of certain things, and then knowing the backlash of all of this, it's like
Exactly. They got
Also-
a tough job ahead of them.
yeah.
You also got to remember the NBA is not registered as a sports entity. It's registered as an entertainment entity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is interesting that you state that because so is wrestling.
Yeah.
And wrestling
That's
is
what I
scripted.
mean. Yeah,
So
exactly.
that goes
yeah.
back to a conversation we had a few
Facts.
episodes ago where,
Yeah.
you know, the NBA could be
Scripting.
allegedly scripted.
Yeah.
Yo, did you hear that? That wrestling is trying to get registered for gambling.
Oh, so you could, but that's
So that you could-
sport.
I think
Gamble on
wrestling's
them?
already on like some.
No, but no,
Nah.
like
Nah.
you,
Like on DraftKings
like
and
you
shit?
can't,
Nah,
yeah, you
not
can't bet
wrestling,
on
no.
a wrestling
Nah.
card. No,
You can't.
Nah.
like who's gonna win and
No.
who's gonna lose.
Because
it's
You could bet on
scripted.
some
Right,
shit because
exactly.
they promoted during
So
the
their
shows.
whole thing is that they're trying to like say that they can compartmentalize the information where no one will know and the information won't get leaked.
Look, they leak. Look,
man,
wrestling
come
is
on.
one
I
of the
would bet on
biggest
wrestling.
leaked.
I would not bet on.
I would
wrestling.
bet.
I would.
I would bet with my man. I'm not betting on DraftKings.
Yeah.
Like,
Nah.
I feel like it's too many. It's too many
Because-
things. You're gonna be mad, right? If you put
many
50,
variables.
look, you put $50,000 of somebody to win and they
On the
lose because of
underdog.
a low blow. What's
Yeah.
up?
Oh,
You be like,
but
you're not
first of all,
supposed to
I'm
be
not
doing
putting
that.
$50K on shit. My little $20 bet ain't gonna. It's gonna piss me off a little, but
Yo, yeah,
nah,
because
wrestling I
last
think
minute-
is predictable.
well,
That's what I mean.
I feel like last minute they're gonna wait to see like the over under and then be like,
Oh, they could adjust it.
And
No,
then
but-
adjust
But
it
they
in the ring.
can't.
Yeah,
They can't because it'll fuck up storyline.
But
and
that's another thing that I
sequential
feel.
shit.
I feel like the matchups aren't realistic in wrestling because you'll have a giant. And then you have somebody small like Rey Mysterio.
Rey
and
Mysterio
then
versus
I'm gonna
Big Show.
bet on I'm gonna bet on the Big Show and Rey Mysterio gonna win. And
Yeah,
I'm gonna
but
be like,
that's-
come on, bro.
That's David and Goliath. You don't believe in the
Yeah.
Bible?
But I'm just saying, in a boxing match.
They
But that's not boxing,
they
it's
play
Nah,
it
it's
up.
boxing. It's wrestling.
wrestling.
Facts.
Yeah, but
Wrestling,
even
word.
if you
It's
took
not
it-
even wrestling.
but,
It's
but
wrestling.
even if you took it to the Olympic wrestling, still it's some size advantage in
No,
that.
but in the
Wrestling, there's
Olympic
no such
wrestling,
thing.
they have
It's not scripted.
weight
though.
classes.
weight class.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
In
when I'm
wrestling,
talking,
there's no weight
but what
class.
we talking
Yeah.
about is height. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not even talking
Yeah,
about weight.
yeah.
I'm just talking about height, where it's like having some type of height advantage. You're given, like in boxing, it's reach advantage,
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. In wrestling, there is no advantage. Because no matter what the opponent is, anybody could win in wrestling.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
just how wrestling is.
Yeah.
The advantage is popularity. Like, if
Okay,
you're,
yeah.
like
And-
when you
and-
look at
and,
like Dwayne
momentum.
Johnson,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he beat everybody because everybody loved The Rock.
Hell yeah.
So if you have that charisma and you're able to like really win the crowd,
Yeah.
like,
And you go to
But
the
that's
top.
the
but
person
see,
that's gonna win.
But
Yeah.
see, that's not always safe neither because it seemed like lately it's been cool to make those guys lose.
Well,
and then now you got a whole crowd.
The
that's
thing
like,
is that those guys have to
bad
lose
guys.
to get the next guy to become
Yeah,
that guy.
true
You
that.
know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like a continuous cycle of you
word.
build the guy up to be the man, and then the next guy got to beat him so he could become the man and
Gotcha.
shit.
Right,
and
right,
they
right.
could just
Yeah.
keep selling fucking T-shirts and tickets.
I feel like in our era, everybody was the man though. Like,
That's what
they-
I'm saying.
Like,
Or they had the chance
when
to
you
be the
had
man.
when you had Macho Man, you had
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan, you
Yeah.
had.
But remember, nobody
the-
used to
Bret
be
the
Hulk
Hitman
Hogan.
Hart.
They had not the Ultimate Warrior.
The Ultimate Warrior
He
beat
was
him.
Ultimate
ready to
Warrior.
become
But
the man.
no,
I'm
but
saying,
the
like-
Ultimate Warrior shot himself in the foot because you know how you were just saying before we were both everybody was just talking about being charismatic and appealing to the crowd and stuff. That was the shit with the Ultimate Warrior. He didn't give a fuck and he did his own thing and they gave him a script like,
But
yo,
the
you
people
gotta
loved
follow
him
this.
for that shit.
Nah, but he after a while like he just went off the rails and shit. And
the
he
company didn't love him.
Yeah,
Company
yeah,
didn't love
yeah.
him.
The people
McMahon
loved
didn't
all
fucking.
that fucking. Oh, gotta
Yeah.
come down from the
Yeah,
mountain.
that's the thing.
With a dragon on my back. Yeah.
McMahon would give him like, yo, you gotta say this, and he would totally say something totally different and shit, and change it up and shit.
Yeah,
And that's
that
why
was
they didn't
him.
fuck with him.
McMahon is a scumbag, yo.
Now,
He's a dirty
He's
man,
a
yo.
scumbag, son.
in this
Dirty
era, everything is
motherfucker.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah, he's the
Yeah,
guy.
ain't
Right now.
nobody bigger
He's
than
about to
Roman
pass like 1,000 days as champion, and that shit hasn't been done.
He's the Rock's cousin, of course.
But
Yeah.
but that's
His whole bloodline.
But that
Yeah.
was that's
Yeah.
the example that I was saying with you, right? He's been going, especially lately. He's been going up against so many craft. He beat I get names wrong. Drew McIntyre, I feel like in his hometown.
Yes.
He beating people in their hometown with the title on the line.
Yeah.
And them fans look like they ready to riot after.
But that's building up to imagine when he finally beats
Loses,
somebody.
yeah.
That's just gonna be a fucking
That is gonna be
historic
crazy.
moment.
But I think it's cool to have your your favorite lose because it's gonna build it the fire in you, and you're gonna tune in next week. You're gonna keep tuning in because now you like, nah, my guy gonna come back.
My guy gotta come back.
Yeah,
now
you gotta come back.
Story.
Yeah, redemption.
Yeah.
Yo, Burnz, you gotta bring Joe Carter and one on your wrestling podcast, bro.
Oh, absolutely,
look,
bro.
I'm
We
locked
gotta set
in.
that
Dude,
up.
look, let's go.
I love that wrestling shit, bro.
Yeah, I haven't.
From a child, I remember. As a
stopped
matter of
watching it a
fact,
while ago, but-
y'all had a conversation yesterday where y'all was talking about crying for the World Cup.
Yeah.
Right? Like, your country lost and you cried.
Yeah.
I remember when Hulk Hogan had lost, he got cheated by like Andre the Giant and $1 Million Man and shit. I think I was like 8 years old, bro.
Oh, you felt that shit.
Yo, I think I cried, yo, for the Hulk shit, bro. Keep it real, man.
Look, you couldn't tell me that it wasn't real when Mankind got thrown off the Hell in a Cell by Undertaker. I'm like,
See, but that shit is real.
different.
That's like,
Yo,
oh no,
Mankind-
that's
actual
no way to
action
fake
shit
that.
is
Son,
real. Yeah.
Mankind was different. Yeah, he was a
when
different.
Owen Hart fell in the ring and shit. Oh,
yeah,
Oh,
yo,
yeah,
real
that was a
shit.
freak
Yo,
accident,
Owen Hart,
though. That was crazy.
I want to say all of them rocking Mankind matches. I remember one match.
He hit him with a
handcuffed-
chair,
Bro,
yeah.
he handcuffed him and then was beating him with a chair.
With a chair
while
for
he
like 10 minutes
Son,
and shit. Yo, that shit was uncomfortable to watch, bro.
threw him on the speakers and it exploded.
Yeah.
It was so uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah,
You couldn't tell me I wasn't watching murder.
Like, yo, what am I watching here?
That shit's crazy.
Yo, speaking of watching some shit, they just released a video of Sean Kemp shooting someone, allegedly, not allegedly because the video's out there, but the story goes that someone stole something from him. He tracked them. And when he went to approach their vehicle, they started shooting, and Sean Kemp shot
back.
Acting like the black Liam Neeson.
So it's like the NBA.
I will find you.
Wildin',
Right?
bro. Yeah. I
He
wonder
has
what
a
he stole.
particular set of skills.
My man said, good luck. He said, don't worry about that. I'm going to find you, playboy.
That's taking
Sean
5
Kemp.
right there.
Jesus
Yo,
Christ.
Sean Kemp, NBA legend, man, shooting. That's
Yo, that's crazy, bro. Like,
Shout out to those Reebok kamikazes,
What-
yo.
Right? They about to go up.
oh, he going kamikaze right
You know
now.
what? I should have brought mine today just for the whole.
Word
I
up.
didn't even know that was about to be a topic.
Just
Get
for
the
brother
Rain
Kemp,
Man's
the
going.
Rain Man. The
Yeah, I
Rain-
still got
bro.
mine. I ain't playing.
That's crazy, man.
Yo,
Shout out to Sean
Who's
Kemp.
letting it
Shout out to
rain,
Sean
man?
Yeah, he was letting it rain, all right.
Yeah.
Let's,
Bullets.
Speaking of footwear, I know y'all brothers, and I want to get y'all opinions one by one. The red boots, the Astro boots.
Astro Boys.
I seen a video on Twitter yesterday. Some cat out in Atlanta posted up like in front of a
Yeah, I
store.
was just- Yeah,
Exactly.
Look
I was just
like
gonna comment on
Papa
that
Smurf.
video.
About
Yeah.
y'all don't even understand this
Yeah,
drip, or
yeah.
y'all
Yeah,
not
yeah,
up
yeah.
on
Y'all can't get on this drip. Yeah, y'all
some
can't pull this
shit.
off. Yeah.
And his peoples was not amused.
No.
They weren't impressed.
They were
So-
cutting his eyes.
Let's go around
ahead.
the table.
Go ahead.
Starting with the brother one guy.
Did you see the video of them trying to take them off? It took like 2 guys to get them off
Yeah.
of them. Yeah, they're rubber. Like,
So I'm gonna ask you, would you wear them?
hell no. You were gonna
Let's-
pay me to put those on my
Let's
feet,
go
bro.
to the brother
Absolutely
Joe Carter.
not.
No to the Astro boots.
Absolutely.
Fuck
not.
to the no.
Yes,
And to
no.
the
Bloodshot, Astro boots.
Yeah, I'm rocking them shits on Halloween when I dress up like fucking Super Mario, my nigga.
So cosplay.
It's 5 negatives on the Astro.
That's
Yo, I
sick.
don't understand why you would even want to like.
They just made them in black.
They're not cute. Like
Yeah.
they're not dope. They're
Yeah.
not fresh.
Super Smash Bros.
Like that
You look like
dude
a Nintendo
in front of the bodega or whatever it was. Yo, I was like, yo, why doesn't one of your mans slap you on the back of the head and be like, take that goofy shit off, you look retarded, fam.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I couldn't do that to him.
Yo,
like, if he told me, yo, I'm gonna rock these shits today, I'll be like,
I'm not
no,
walking
you're
with
not,
you.
bro.
I'm
Yeah,
not walking
I
with
can't-
you.
I don't know if I
And
can
you know
hang
what
with
it is?
you.
Like,
That's
this
the
is the shit
wrong
that bugs me, right? I think that people equate cost and drip, and it's 2 different things. Like,
Yes.
not everything that's expensive looks
drip,
good.
yeah.
Looks good.
And that's
like,
the thing too. Like, I get rock what you want, but they're not doing it because they actually think it's cool. They're doing it because if I rock it, everybody else will
It's
think it's
trendy,
cool.
yeah.
they're gonna know how much I spent for
Yeah,
these. That's
yeah,
what it
yeah,
is. So
yeah,
I'm gonna
that
look
shit's
like, you know,
whack.
you know what, you
It's
know what
clout
my bag
chasing,
is.
B.
And they're
At
gonna
the end of the day, it's
interact.
clout chasing.
It's gonna give them like
Traction?
on
Yeah.
their whatever
Yeah.
post. Or
And then
whatever.
some people look at it as a challenge. They'll sit there and they'll go, "Oh, everybody that been wearing them been looking like this. Watch me wear them and crush them." Nobody challenging you, bro.
Yeah. Please
You don't have to.
They're not crushable.
Yeah, like
You can't rock
Just
them
crush
any which
them,
way.
period.
Nah,
Like,
man.
What'd you say,
And
bro?
you know what my whole thing is? Like, there's no benefit to them. Like, ergonomically or
No,
They don't make you jump higher.
They ain't about to have you dunking like Vince Carter. They not about to have you doing nothing.
They're not gonna make you jump higher from mushrooms and shit like that. Nah.
You can jump in puddles and keep your feet dry. That's
it.
it.
That's about it.
That's it. That's it.
You know why? Because there's some Yeezys that I be like, them shits is ugly, but some people be like, yo, they hella comfortable. Or they help me with.
Yeah,
with
these things don't even look comfortable.
Nah.
Keep it real.
They just look whack, and they rubber. They probably make your feet sweat like crazy.
Yo, imagine them in the summertime.
And they're high as fuck, so your whole leg swing.
That's damn
It's
near
like
up
a
to your
cast.
knee. Yeah,
It's like a cast, wearing a rubber cast and shit.
yeah, definitely.
What about on the ladies though? Do you think it makes a difference? Still corny?
I think that it would be even worse on the ladies because they're gonna look like they got giant ass feet.
Fair.
Yeah, like it's not appealing. Like it's not an appealing look.
Yo,
Because it's not
Nah,
even something
not at
that you
all.
would buy true to size. It's something that it look like it gotta be doofy for you to take
They
them
gotta
off.
be
take 'em
big
off,
for you to
yeah.
put them on.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
other than that, it's gonna be a molding.
Facts.
Right?
Yeah.
They
Like I said,
really
a
wild
cast.
with the
So a big boo this man to the red boots. Who made him? Mischief, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mischief.
they always make some crazy shit.
Mischief. I'm gonna have to give you. I'm gonna have to give you the boo this man.
Yeah, they
to the
get
red
an F
boots.
for this
man,
one.
yeah,
They take a F.
Didn't
So-
they do the little Nas X joints too? They did those, right?
Yeah,
The blood
yeah.
Nikes?
Yeah,
That was them?
That
Yeah,
was them.
that
Yeah,
was
that
them.
was Mischief. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
boo
So
this
maybe
man
that's
to
their
that.
thing.
Yeah, but those shits got canceled too.
They got-
Nike,
they got,
Nike
like,
didn't let that
banned.
Yeah,
happen.
Yeah.
You know what? Since we got the brother One Got Beats here, let's
Okay.
get into a quick Nike versus Cool Kai.
Oh, he fighting them.
And I want to
Kai.
go back to the red boots because I want to still talk about the Mario shoes. But
I fuck with
let's drift off. What do you think of the whole lawsuit thing and the countersuit and Nike telling him like, "Yo, you bugging"? Like, you
Yeah.
I think Nike telling him that he's not creative while blatantly stealing some of his colorways is an oxymoron. You know what I'm saying? You
Okay.
can't tell you can't call someone not creative but jack they swag. That was the same shit they did with the homie from Sire Collective. Like he used to do custom.
Oh, word,
He
yeah.
used to do custom kicks,
Yeah, yeah.
and Nike blatantly took
He
some
did the
of his
Chuckies and
customs
shit.
and put them into production. He did a
Yeah.
pair of foam posits. He did the first 3M Jordans, which were the Jordan 6s. The 3M Jordan 6s
Yeah.
that Nike put into production. He made them just like 7 years before
Before,
they did. So you know, Nike's known for paying attention to what
Other people are doing.
other people are doing and incorporating it into their fashion. So you know, I'm rocking with Kai on this one. I ain't gonna hold y'all.
Did you ever hear the conspiracy that you know how Nike has Nike ID and you could go on there and design kicks or whatever just to
Yeah.
get a look at it. And you could actually, after you design, you could actually purchase it. And it'll take like 6 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
And they'll produce it. Yeah.
Yeah. So did you ever hear that supposedly, even if let's say you design something but you never buy it, they take the design. They always they could go back into their database and see
It's
what
their
you designed.
site. It's their site.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah,
that they
I'm
be
sure-
taking
I'm sure
ideas.
that's in the
No,
agreement.
no, yeah.
And they
if you
take
read-
ideas.
Read the terms and conditions
I was just about
when
to
you're
say that.
doing
I
that.
was just
Yeah,
about to
because
say
if
that.
you
And,
read
they,
the
and
terms
so
and
they be
conditions,
taking ideas
Yeah.
from what people be posting.
It
on there.
tell
Be like,
you.
oh, that looks dope. Let's take
why
that and
wouldn't
put
they?
this. Yeah.
You know, like it's
But
like
it only
R&D.
makes sense.
It's like research and development.
How creative is that if you're just changing the colorways on an already existing
model?
design?
Yeah.
You're not necessarily creating a new model or anything.
You're
just
not, but think about it like this,
doing
right?
colors.
But you're
like a
you're
color
giving
book.
them new ideas for new palettes.
Look, every
know what I'm saying?
every couple of years, a new pair of Jordans come out, right? And everybody gets hyped about them.
A new pair or retro?
Excuse me. They'll bring out a new
The-
color
a
with
new
a
retro.
retro
The retro
design,
color,
right?
okay. Yeah.
So realistically, I don't think it's any different from that. You know, I think that he changed the silhouette up slightly because he knew that there was like, you know, that they were gonna come for him. But at the end of the day, I like Kai's colorways. I like the shit that he's doing with the patent leather. I like the fact that he's collaborating with hip hop culture. You know what I'm saying? He linked up with the Locks. He made the Locks pair. He did the Dipset pair. You know, that he's connecting with the streets versus like Nike, who like they have it, but they're not connecting with the culture. We make the shit hot.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what
a
I'm saying?
fact.
Well,
That's the
they,
other
they,
thing.
they fuck with Drake.
Yeah, but because it's Drake. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna go with the
And
like,
his, and I'm
And
sorry,
them kicks was
I'm
not
sorry,
it.
his shits be,
Yo, them knock the shits is trash.
he be
yo.
having the
Nah,
most bland
not-
shit. You might as well make
Yeah.
a pair of all white ups and a pair of black ups. Like his.
Well, he did make a pair of all white ups.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to
With the-
say.
with the outline.
And
No
they say
cut.
OVO.
I love you or something.
That's my
on the
point.
yeah.
or
Like
Lover
with,
Boy.
with
Lover
him,
Boy.
with
Oh,
him,
yeah.
you might as well just have a regular pair
Yeah.
because
Instead of his
you
own
gonna
shoe?
spend more. Instead of his own, because you're gonna spend more, and you think people while you walking is gonna look down and go, "That got the Drake branding on it, don't it?"
Yeah.
No, these look like a pair of white Uptowns,
Yeah.
black
Yeah.
Uptowns.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I don't think people don't want to dress like Drake necessarily.
No,
I don't
I
think
don't
he's
think
that kind of artist. Or,
Yeah,
or
that
like
you wanna
that.
dress
He's
like
not a
him.
trendsetter in regards to fashion. I would
Yeah.
say, but like musically, I think he does set a lot.
No,
of
I think
trends.
them
Musically,
Noctas prove that he's not a trendsetter. Them shits is boo
Them
boo.
shit's booty, yeah. So go back to Cool Kai real quick. I almost feel bad that I want to side with Nike.
Right. Why?
Because Kai is of the culture and he does for the culture. But I've always had a thing against people just kind of taking something existing and tweaking it and then calling it original design or creation and shit. Like,
I mean,
it's a personal bother of me as someone who's tried to create stuff and almost like, I don't know. I come from that no biting shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear that, but I think that it's also something where you like, it's like customizers, right? You take a pair, you get a pair of all white ones and bring them to a customizer and be like, "Yo, finesse these for me."
Yeah.
I look at Kyle like he's just a high end.
Yeah, but then you don't go out and
customizer.
say, "Yo, I designed these sneakers."
I mean, there are customizers that exclusively like do Air Force Ones, Jordan Ones, and they'll just do those.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That I think that that's how a lot of these dudes start. They start as customizers.
Look
like
at-
Side Collective
Look
started
at
as a
Ablo,
customizer.
what he did with the Air Force Ones, the
Yeah, it's
Louis
just
Vuitton
it's
Air
a-
Force Ones.
it's a niche
and
market.
then charging fucking how much? An astronomical fee for them shits.
Yeah.
All right, but again, Ablo is one of the worst when it comes to not creating, in my opinion. Rest in peace, and I don't mean to
Originality?
talk about. Yeah, I think he was one of the most unoriginal creators and one of the most overrated designers in the history.
I wouldn't disagree. Well, I would say when it came to the
He had some
sneakers,
dope shit, though.
Off White was he had a nice run with Off White.
Yeah, he has some dope shit here and there, you know, like his industrial shit. But I get it. It's nothing like out of this world where he's reinventing the wheel.
I'm never gonna understand how you get props for putting the word shoelaces on your shoelaces and strap on your actual strap. Like that shit don't make no sense to me. Like,
It's
that
stating
that plays
stating
into the dumb
obvious.
down of
It's-
society.
It was never
Yeah.
done before. It was never done before. That's why I guess like
I
it's just
mean,
something like, yo, that's different. Like
nobody
you know,
ever
like,
walked through this glass
did you
door
also- did
fully
you-
before.
did
But that
you-
don't mean we should start lining up
Did
to
you
do
also
it.
hear
We
that he
should
did that on
definitely write
purpose
glass
because of
on
what
the
you
door.
just said?
you know,
To
Stating
prove
the
how
obvious.
stupid people are?
Well, it was a
All right.
point
It's-
stating
it's
the obvious.
industrial.
See,
Yeah.
if
That's why,
military.
yeah.
if his
It's like
designs
military style.
were my bad, Blood. If his designs were
Ironic.
a social experiment,
Right.
I would admire him a lot more.
Who's to say it wasn't?
That's what I'm
mean,
saying.
look
at-
I read
Look at the
that.
bag he made.
I
like-
read that that's what he did. That I'm gonna put it. He's gonna like. I'm so popular that I'm gonna take this piece of shit, basically, put lipstick on it, and sell it to you, and it's gonna be dope as fuck.
yeah.
That would be interesting.
I think
I would
I
respect
think
that.
it
And
was
he
a
started-
troll
yeah.
on the fashion industry. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
'cause he
saying? Like he
started small
trolled them without
scale.
even knowing it.
He would have a doormat that said
Look,
doormat. You know what I'm saying? It
I'm a
started real
competitor.
small before it got to the point of sneakers and a lot of the off-white shit. It was just branding.
So
you
maybe-
could turn anything. This could be a thing. It would just say ashtray.
See, maybe
Yeah.
we're not that dumb, or maybe I don't know. Like that don't appeal to me. The dumbed down design
Again.
or the
Your
stating
level of
the
consumer,
obvious.
the way you consume products is just more on a sophisticated level. A lot of people, they, like I said, Mr. Me Too's. You got a lot of people.
Hype
And
culture.
trend
Hype culture. Yeah.
hype beats and trend and
Look, I was a
trend
big
followers.
Billionaires Boy Club.
Exactly.
The first pairs of ice creams was just Stan Smith's.
Right, basically, yeah.
Adidas.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
redesigned Stan Smith.
Redesigned Stan
Same
Smith.
thing with Babes. The Babe sneakers.
Yeah.
They were the Air Force Ones.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
literally the
yeah.
Air Force Ones. But
Right.
everybody went crazy over them because of
The different colorways and textures that they
camo
were
print.
using.
Yeah, like
all that
they
shit,
had a
yep.
dope camo print. They had dope
Yeah.
colorways, and it was like they was kicking them in flavors that other people weren't.
I tell you
So
that Nike wasn't doing.
and that's why I'm saying that's why I think that Kai's killing him because he's really he's doing different colorways and the colorways that he's doing he's associating with he's doing like the
Right.
Black University
Yeah.
runs that he's
Yeah.
doing the
The
sneakers with
HBCUs and shit, yeah.
HBCUs. He did the Georgetowns. He did a whole run on those.
Nike
See, I'm
ain't gonna
supposed
do
to
that.
want to support that. Like I feel like I should.
You
be
just don't like the
supporting
fact that he's taking You know what it is?
And
I
he's
also think
Jersey.
it's the fact that of the shoe that he's taking. You don't really particularly like the other ones.
I love the Jordan
Well,
one.
I don't give a shit. Yeah, I don't like the one
Yeah,
too much.
I
But
know you don't.
he puts a lot of thought and effort into more than the sneaker, as far as the design, the box, the promo, the pop-ups,
The presentation of it.
It's a
Yeah,
whole,
the
it's a
aesthetics
whole
of it.
marketing, yeah. Because
Yeah.
the way he does it is like he's releasing the kicks, but then he's releasing them with the sweaters. He's releasing like whole fits
Right,
around them.
right,
So
right,
he's
right.
kind of conceptualizing and selling people on this whole idea.
The whole presentation of
Yeah,
it.
so it's where some people look at it as like, oh, you're just ripping Jordan 1s. It's like, all right, but when was the last time that Jordan 1 came through and gave you a whole fit top to bottom that you could
Who's
actually
this? Who's
swag
this?
out? This is Cool Kai.
Cool. Oh, okay. I was gonna compare the whole Ablo situation to like the Travis Scott designs, because they're nothing out of this world, but
Yeah, I
it's
wasn't
just
crazy
something
about
like,
those
you know,
either.
it was a little bit different. He flipped the Nike check. He does some dope colorways. It's just, you know, they flip it and bounce it and, you know, make it fresh again.
It's not fresh though. In my opinion, I can't
Yeah.
speak for the
It is
masses
crazy
I'll
to
because
see
co-sign
how
obviously
you
the
on
far-
those.
masses.
I didn't hype beast over those either.
Yeah, me neither. I'll be honest. Like all the Travis Scott sneakers, to me they're super overrated. To me, the whole backwards check thing, I was like, oh, that
Dennis
was-
Rodman did that 20 years ago.
Exactly with the
Yeah.
So I was like,
Yeah,
I'm
the
not.
Fox-
The only ones I'll be honest, the only
I
ones
forgot
I
what they
would
was
cop
called.
at a good price if I could find them at a good price would be the sixes, the ones that were like kind of olive green.
Yes,
Yeah, with
those
the
were
pocket
nice.
on the
side,
with the
yeah.
pocket.
Yeah,
With the pocket.
Yeah,
those were dope
fire.
to me.
Mainly
Those were the
because of
only
the
dope
design.
ones.
The material.
Yes,
Yeah,
and on top of that, the
yeah,
materials that
yeah.
the premium materials that they would
Yup,
use
yup,
and
yup,
shit, those I would cop if I found them at a good price and shit.
Speaking of premium,
Those are the only ones I like.
did y'all notice that Nike released a premium leather Air Force One?
That I seen, and they're also gonna come out with
think I
the
saw that.
Air Jordan one that's gonna cost like $1,500 because they're gonna use like premium Italian leathers and all that shit. And
Which only goes to prove that they've been using shit leather this whole time.
yeah, of course they're
Yeah,
gonna.
and it's
Yeah,
these people that make them step it up because now they, cultivating with other materials. And
yeah,
stuff like
but
that.
they're gonna step it up to the tune of $1,500 fucking dollars.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So we
much.
came a
you get what
long
you
way.
pay for.
You get
Sneaker
what you pay
culture.
I think you get what you pay for. I believe in
Yeah.
quality. Like I would pay extra for a good
Sneaker
pair
culture
of,
came a long
$1,500.
way.
I'm not.
You
for,
think
not for Air
Nike's gonna
Force Ones,
provide
though.
you $1,500 worth of quality? I don't think so. I could see maybe someone that actually hand makes their stuff, like maybe Gucci or Hermes or some shit. $1,500, you're gonna get some shit that was handcrafted and it was put together by a human being,
Yeah.
and there was care and all that shit
Nike's
in
in
it.
a factory.
Nike's all factory
yeah.
shit. You're not gonna get $1,500 worth of fucking quality.
Nah, you
I'm
gonna
sorry,
get some-
it don't
you
matter
gonna get
what
something with
materials
it.
they use.
But the
Defect
premium
and all
leather
that
Air
shit.
Force Ones weren't. They were
like 400. I
Yeah,
think.
they were like 350, 400, something like that.
Yeah, and
with that.
my replica guy, he could get them for 150.
But
That's
that's
that's what you're getting in the stores.
But this is
That's what they selling you right now,
But-
bro.
That's why I'm
That's
not
my
against
point.
replicas, which
Yeah.
is funny because I'm against Cool Kai.
No, because but that's the
something's
thing.
wrong in my brain.
But that's the
Yo,
thing. Sneaker culture.
The math
came-
ain't mathing.
Yeah, something's
Sneaker
wrong.
culture came a long way because you couldn't get away with that shit. I feel like back in the day, you couldn't wear. I feel like I'm glad that it's a possibility now, but you could not wear a Cool Kai. You couldn't wear none of those because they would flame you out the gym, out the classroom.
I think that's where I'm still am kind of like.
Yeah.
Honestly, I
know.
lost touch with the branding of it.
What's up with Sia?
Saya?
Saya.
That is
So
dope.
Saya's dope. I fell back on copping his shit. You know what it is? For me, it's a personality thing. Like I
Yeah,
love it. I love his
yeah.
products, but his personality
It's
just
not
doesn't
it.
sit well with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he had an issue.
Really?
He had a beef with Kai, and he did some. In my opinion, I felt like it was corny. Right? He went on an Instagram live and was teaching people how to cancel their orders. With
From
Kai,
Kai?
from Kai,
Oh.
and I thought that was
wow.
petty
Oh, damn, that sucks.
because it's like, yo, y'all both doing the same thing. Y'all
Right.
both independent, black owned businesses, doing the sneaker game, doing the sneaker hustle. You know what I'm saying? So it's like to see somebody thriving. Kai's killing it out here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So is Saya. But it's like you looking at like, yo, you shitting on your competition instead of uplifting them.
Yeah.
So
And
to
there's
me,
more than enough money to go around.
and this whole time, and Kai never spoke on it publicly. And to me, that showed more integrity on Kai's end than Saya's end. And I love Sire's shit. Y'all know I was rocking them
Yeah,
shits
hell
heavy.
yeah.
Like I was buying them shits fucking 3 pairs a
I
year,
remember,
3, 4
yeah. I
pairs a
remember
year.
you come in, I'm like, yo, what is that? What are you
Yeah.
wearing?
Yeah, I fuck with them shits. Yo, listen, I still say to this day, those are probably, them Vultures are the most comfortable sneakers I ever put on my feet.
Wow.
And I was paying, like, them shits are Yeezy prices. They're not
Right.
cheap.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But, you know, it's one of those things where you gotta, when you start to look at the person you're supporting, you know, and I take it like on a moral, you know, stance where it's
Yeah.
like, you're being kind of corny, bro.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm
like-
not really fucking with you right now. Like, I don't know if I want to give you my money.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get a pair of ties.
That's facts. That's facts.
You know, but
That's an interesting perspective because we all still buy Nike, and Nike's a fucked up company.
Oh, they do fuck shit all the time.
yeah. I think it's a nostalgia thing for me because even with Nike, it's like I only buy shit that, like with the pennies. Like
Yeah.
these, I caught because I had these when I was in school.
You
So
buy
to me, it's
shit-
like I'm reconnecting with a part
young
of my
version.
younger
Yeah,
version
of
of
course.
me. Yeah. So it's like when I seen them come back, I was like, oh, I need to get these pennies.
You and I are the same kind of consumers because you buy shit you like, not
Yes.
what everybody else is buying. Like I buy, like to me, I love the Huarache trainers, the
Yeah.
ones with the strap over the forefoot. Oh, bro, if I could find the OG black ones, black and gray
ACG
shit,
joints, right?
oh my god, if I could find those. But you see, not everybody's checking for those. But I love them shits.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I buy shit I like.
Yeah, I like the Huaraches.
What the hell?
Yo, you good, blood?
Yeah, I was gonna say also, Nike is like,
You can't. He can't see. You
Son,
can't.
I thought you got into an accident.
Right.
You sounded crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, we gotta call AAA for you.
His background sound like.
I dropped off the race when I jumped into my regular whip. But I was gonna say that the Nikes, they're easier to cop than like a boutique brand. You know, they're easy. You just go right there to Foot Locker. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna get. It's like going to McDonald's. Like you don't care what the fuck they put in the burger. You sometimes are gonna stop and get some McDonald's burgers and fries. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we're holding different brands to different standards. Then
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I'm saying.
big
You
facts.
can't
No, yeah.
shit on one company and let the other company slide because they got some
Well,
nostalgia.
I mean,
Like I said, like you know, you go to McDonald's, you don't care what they put in the burger. You're still gonna get a Big Mac. But at the end of the day, you're gonna be like, damn, I don't want to eat this. I'm trying to eat natural. I'm trying to do this. But sometimes it's just you go against your own ethics. You
Yeah,
know,
no,
for the easy way out, for the
Trust me.
easy way out.
I'm not gonna argue with you about a Big Mac, bro. I love me some
Yeah.
fucking McDonald's, bro.
You
And
know
I
what
know
it
it's
is?
the worst shit on earth, but
like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
CEOs of Nike
No.
ain't going on Instagram Live. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like I'm not sitting here listening to the perspective of
Yeah.
the owner of Nike
Phil
versus
Knight,
the
yeah.
owner of an independent brand that gets on the Instagram Live and then starts talking. Like the dude from Nike isn't like, yeah, man, fuck Adidas. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, don't be buying them shits. Like, yo, listen, like,
Checks over
That would
stripes.
be mad
yeah,
corny.
exactly. You know, because that would be corny.
so would Nike be wise to hire Kai and maybe make that cool Kai brand?
Hell
an
yeah. If you can't
offshoot
beat him, join
brand?
him. I think that like absorbing him into the brand would give him a position, make him a creative director, or you know, like
Yeah, but you see, that's a double-edged sword, right? Don't buy him or hire him, right, and then shelf him. You know what I'm saying? Implement what he was doing.
Right.
Have
Absolutely.
these pop-up shops. Have these, you know, make your boxes. Like Jordan just started giving you retro boxes based
Yeah.
off of the sneaker that they coming out with. So if you get in a sneaker that came out in '96, you're gonna get the '96 box.
Right.
Do that. Take that. Keep those aesthetics. What I'm scared of is what usually happens is they'll buy that just to shelf creativity.
Right. Yeah.
that's a fact.
I'm gonna absorb you so that way
Or
you don't threaten
Nike-
us.
Nike-
no
Kill
more.
the competition.
Nike hasn't always been the most forward-thinking company.
Or ethical.
But yeah, but they, I don't feel like you even want that. I feel like their progression in that way is so small. It's years. It take years. Where that's why I feel like people like Kai or whatever, they'll thrive because the stuff that you would think executives at Nike are thinking about, they not.
No.
And these people are thinking it and implementing it at the same time.
In real time.
In real time.
Right.
And they're showing you the results and they're showing you how popular it is. They line up crazy for them Kai, you know what I'm saying, pop-ups.
Yeah, his
He'll be in
pop-ups are
Miami,
crazy.
he'll be in wherever, you know what I'm saying?
Everywhere.
You're
Everywhere,
talking about
bro.
from the actual design time where he actually designs it to where it becomes a tangible product.
Yeah, everything about it, the experience of it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you said, we expect so much or we know so much from these companies that we don't hold them to whatever. You know what you getting buying a Nikes. Nikes. So they could, I don't want to say it like this, but there could be a level of laziness put out. Because I don't got to tell you about Uptowns or Nikes. You're going to buy them because you know you want them anyway. I'm going to just dangle them in your face. Maybe a promo here, a commercial here. You'll see a colorway here. I feel like a lot of the places that sell those sneakers are companies like GOAT, StockX, because of how they position it in the app. Every time I go on the app, it's showing me what dropped, what just dropped. Unless you're one of those people who got a Nike app. It's like, how do Nike promote to you? They really don't.
They don't have to.
Exactly.
Right. They don't.
Meanwhile, a
so
Kai,
established.
he has to. So there's so much of a level of thinking and a thought process and, you know, hard work that go into that or intricateness that go into that. And I feel like Nike might have lost that in being a conglomerate or being a big kind of being a big corporation that they are. So
they definitely lost the connection to the people.
I think
a long time ago.
I think they should do collabs with him the same way they do like with Jeff Staple.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like it'll be a Cool Kai edition, Jordan 1, a Cool Kai edition, and like have them pull up to the store when the shit's drop. You know, have them doing signings. You know, like
and that would humanize the brand. Like people would fuck with them more.
Absolutely, because they would gain credibility with the culture again.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because Nike, in my opinion, Nike's known for exploiting the culture versus being a part of the culture.
Absolutely.
So, but speaking of, y'all seen that they doing a movie on Nike, right? With the
Yeah,
Jordan
yeah,
1?
Jordan,
Yeah.
Courting a Legend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's I'm actually interested in seeing that.
Yeah,
and seeing how they
definitely.
put that.
Viola Davis
That's
playing.
by this
Jordan
guy's man.
Moms.
Jordan Moms, yeah.
That's
a
by
fact.
this guy's man.
Ben
What's his name?
Affleck
Ben
and,
Affleck and
yeah.
Matt Damon.
Matt
They're
Damon.
doing the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck directed it. Yeah, it's done already. Yeah.
It's out?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It's out or it comes out like next week or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
Ben
positive
Affleck-
or negative.
Yeah, it looks dope.
The trailer
as fuck.
looks dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hell
It
yeah.
does.
I'm gonna have to check it.
Yo, brother, can I get a tray, bro?
I don't know if
Thank you.
that's the people I would want telling the story. But then again, they're not telling the story of Jordan.
Jordan,
They're telling
no,
the
they're
story-
they're
They telling the story of a
Nike.
From
sneaker
Nike's
company.
perspective.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
because-
it's how
Well,
they
actually, it's more
transition
the
into making
story.
basketball sneakers.
It's more the
No, yeah,
story.
'cause
It's
I
more
think-
the story of Sonny Vaccaro.
Yeah, because I think that they was
Yeah.
they was going bankrupt or something like that, or not bankrupt, but like they was facing.
They were losing to Converse.
Yeah.
Because
Converse
Converse
and
was
Adidas.
they were the original basketball sneaker. Yeah.
Larry
Converse and
Bird,
Mm-hmm.
with the weapon, Converse weapon, and all
And
of that.
Adidas too. Adidas had like Ewing and all those other
Oh, yeah,
early
yeah,
stars
yeah,
and
yeah.
shit
Yo,
like
I
that.
forgot.
Nigga,
Adidas was
Yeah,
showing. That's
yeah.
Yeah,
right.
the Metro Altitudes
Yeah.
and
Damn, I forgot about that. And
Yeah.
Shaq was with Adidas too.
Was he?
no
No,
Reebok.
he was
No,
at
Reebok. My fault. Excuse me.
That's the
That
Shaq
was
Attack, the Shaq Gnosis.
Yeah.
I got all of them shits too.
Yo, that's
I love retro sneakers, so like
Yeah, hell yeah.
I got a lot of signature sneakers.
Hell
I got
yeah.
Emmitt Smith sneakers.
You know,
Oh, shit.
I
Yeah.
fucked
The
up.
Dion's.
I fucked up last week
Dion's,
on my birthday.
the
Me and my
Jodeci
cousin
album.
went out to Garden State because he wanted to cop some shit to wear for yesterday. So we went out to Garden State and we stopped at Champs or some shit because he needed the crepe spray. And I seen them, bro. The original Shaq pumps.
Yeah,
They had them.
yeah.
They had them for
You didn't cop 'em?
$110, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna come back for these, and I didn't come back.
They doing a series. It's a reimagined pump series where they made the Iverson questions. They made
I see
those
that.
into
I saw
pumps.
that, yeah.
And then the Shaqs. They made those into pumps.
Reebok is living off nostalgia.
Oh,
pretty
big
Yeah,
time! That's all that
They are profiting off nostalgia.
Yeah, because all their releases are the questions.
Look, I still
or the Allen Iverson
I still
sneakers.
I still have black tops.
Oh, I remember those.
Black
I remember. I had a pair.
You know what I'm saying?
Top
Yeah.
joints, yeah.
So like, yeah, they building they brand. The nostalgia in Reebok is serious, bro.
Yeah, because anything new they drop, new
Gaga.
James Harden,
Nah,
new
yeah.
No, that's
whatever,
doodle.
whoever the fuck. I don't know who they
What's
got,
his name?
but
Dame Dollar.
The best
Yeah,
one they
dude,
had was
they-
Iverson.
No, he's with
The
Adidas. I'm
Camps.
sorry.
I don't even think. I don't even think Reebok has an.
No, they
that
don't.
they
I don't think they
the
do.
Last,
Yeah.
Well, they had Cardi B drop some shit, but she just dropped the Ivy Reavers again. Shout out to Ivy Reavers. She just
Oh,
re-dropped
so
them.
Yeah, they don't have a current superstar. I don't think.
Yeah.
So that's why they can,
Yeah.
or they focus on that nostalgia.
Yeah, because they
time.
got the D Browns. You got the what's my man? Dominique Wilkins.
Wasn't they rocking with Rick Ross for a minute? Rick Ross? He was rocking with, and then they dropped
With
him.
Remember, but they was doing
Yeah.
artists too because remember the S Dots.
The S dots,
S
and the
dots is
50s,
Reebok.
That was
The G units was
Reebok,
yeah.
Yeah,
So
they
remember
had
they
Rick Ross.
dipped into the
They should
music
bring back the
industry.
S dots. Matter of fact,
They
I
had
like
Rick
them.
Ross, but they dropped them after that.
She
that
ain't even
line,
know
that-
it.
Yeah,
she
that's
ain't
what
even
it
know
was.
it.
Molly
Yeah.
on the drink. She
She ain't even know it.
True.
I took it home and I slayed that.
Yeah,
She ain't
what was
even
he
know it.
thinking,
He was
bro?
wowed out with that verse, yo.
Yeah, so somebody should have been in the booth like, yo,
Like,
don't
yo,
say that.
Son, what is you thinking?
That's when you don't have good people around you to guide you.
Come on, you wrote that. Somebody let you spit it to them. Somebody recorded that. Somebody mixed
said-
it
and
come
they
on,
put it
bro.
out.
and put
He
it
ran
out.
with it. He thought that shit was.
Yeah, it was
he
too
thought
many.
was a
That
bar.
shit touched too many ears.
Yeah,
for it not
for it to
to.
come out.
For real.
But
Yeah.
that, I mean, that's like when Gucci does some stupid shit. Or that recent Balenciaga bullshit. Like,
Oh yeah, because
yeah.
them
that
were
went through
kids and
too many
stuff.
channels.
Yeah.
For you to think that that's
not,
okay.
to not be
Yeah,
caught.
but that brand
and be
is
shut down.
different. That brand is different though because white people don't give a fuck about none of that shit. They'll still cop all that shit.
No, you right.
Well, yeah, that's
And even us will go still. You didn't see Floyd Mayweather? He was like, "Y'all still gonna cop Gucci? Ain't gonna stop me." Some people don't give a fuck about that, but then on the other hand,
yeah, but I wouldn't look to Floyd Mayweather for like
yeah,
No,
moral
social advice.
As
Yeah.
a moral
But we,
compass.
but we did cancel
no,
Gucci at a
absolutely, I get
time,
it.
and nobody talks about that really.
No, it came back.
Yeah, it came back
that
because
cancellation
because
came
I
back.
remember everybody
When they did
canceled
the lip
Gucci.
sweater.
Yeah. Everybody canceled them, and then it went away.
And then like 2 weeks later, they
Yeah,
were
we're
back.
back on your Gucci shit.
Same thing with the what was it? Gap Old Navy? Who did the
H&M.
kid?
H&M.
H&M, right? With the
H&M,
kid, black kid on the sweater.
Yeah,
It was
Cool
it
as
was
the Monkey in the
H&M,
Jungle.
Monkey in the
the monkey,
jungle.
and
Coolest
then
monkey in
and
the-
then they canceled H&M when they were stealing people's street art. Like they were
Yeah.
they were
Oh,
taking
yeah.
street art
Oh,
and
word.
incorporating it
Putting
into
it
their
on their-
fashion.
on their shit, yeah.
Yeah. So
Everybody
Before we
steals,
leave
bro.
nostalgic sneakers and footwear, did y'all see that Red Wing collaborated with Super Mario Brothers, the brand,
I did see
to make
those
the Super
to make
Mario,
the Super Mario
boots,
boots. Yeah,
similar to the red boots.
nah.
thank
I don't know if y'all seen them or not,
I
but
saw
I gotta
them.
give them the Buddhist man, the thumbs down.
Another one?
Yeah, bro. I don't
You
know
see
why people are trying to look like cartoons.
Two
I don't know what the
characters,
fuck
yeah.
they smoking nowadays.
Look, they gonna
What
give you the
drugs they-
black. They gonna give you the SpongeBob. Remember the SpongeBob's got the
Nah,
heel.
you know what's coming next?
Oh.
Shit is a round low cut.
You're gonna
black
get the
joint
Sonic
with
the
heel.
Hedgehogs next. Yo.
Oh, yeah.
I think those are
Remember I
even
said
out. I think those are even out
I
already.
think so.
I've
Yeah, you
seen
might be
I seen a mock up of them. I don't know if they real or not, but I have seen them
Yeah.
online. I don't know if
If
they
they
real.
put the joints that Homer Simpson had on, I might fuck with those.
Oh,
If y'all remember that
my
episode,
God.
I might fuck with those.
yeah.
this guy.
Yo,
They look like some Yeezy
I'm
type.
telling you, that's Halloween. That's cosplay. Look,
Yeah.
I never done it before, but that cosplay at Comic-Con and stuff, that's crazy.
Comic-Con
Oh, they go nuts.
These
That
people
looks
seem like they just
so-
want to do it every day.
yo, wait. Did
Yeah.
y'all see the Dragon Ball Z joints?
Nah.
The Dragon Ball Z Timberlands?
Nah.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, I sent them to you.
Yeah.
They got
Yo, crazy.
they got Goku
they're a
Dragon Ball
real
Z
thing?
Timberland. Yeah. Yo,
Yeah.
Google that shit,
Oh,
please.
I'ma have
Show
to
him.
check
This
that
shit is
out.
incredible.
Goddamn.
Too funny.
You got the DM. I sent it
I
to you,
think
right?
society is trying to eliminate reality.
I think
Yeah.
what they're definitely
Oh.
shooting on nostalgia.
Yeah.
They're playing on the
Like-
fact that like people will just wear anything at this point. You
Well,
know
we
what I'm saying?
went a little crazy for the Marty McFlys.
Yeah, but those are different.
And-
Those were actually fly. Like I ain't
Those
gonna hold you.
were
Those were
fly,
fly.
bro.
And the fact that they actually made them self-lacing like in the
Yeah.
movie in the future, I thought that was crazy.
I'm still waiting on that hoverboard, yo.
The hoverboard.
Look. Look at his face. Yo.
No, I'm good.
Those are the Goku
Nah,
Timberlands.
I can't with people no more, bro.
Yo, I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
really
You're gonna see
starting to
somebody
give
in the
up
club
on
with
people.
those, yo.
Yo, listen.
Like, you better be cool with your jokes and shit for the niggas start whooping your ass. Motherfucker got on Goku Timberlands
Yeah.
in the club.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel
Watch
like
your
they're
mouth.
Heavy, and they'll hurt.
If you don't fly off on the cloud, it ain't right, yo.
Bro, he
Yeah,
gonna kick.
exactly.
Oh yeah, you gotta
Right,
have.
your ass.
Remember, one Halloween they did that. Dude had a motorized skateboard and had the looking like a Nimbus
Looking like a
cloud.
Nimbus
Yeah,
cloud.
my man was
wow.
just in the middle of the street. Just
Yeah.
you gotta. That's what I said, Comic-Con. It gotta be, you gotta go all the way or not at all. You can't, I'm not trying to see these with a polo shirt, because you know people love the yellow and the blue. Look, cause look, they yellow and blue. The yellow blue with a little bit of orange. I feel like everybody gonna get a polo shirt.
They're gonna be
hilarious.
And that's the real problem.
That's heavy rugby
Everybody
season.
How they try to normalize it?
Yeah.
Well, no, not even how they try to normalize it. Everybody's predictable. Everybody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the drip, like you
But
already know what they're gonna do with
But
it.
that's what I said. That's what I feel like be the pull to sneakers like the mischief joints, because now you got the people that's like, everybody ain't wearing them right. Watch me crush them, bro. We don't care.
Yeah, nobody wants to see
But
that
it's
shit.
because so many people are predictable. You know what people gonna wear.
Yeah.
So now people feel like it's a challenge. Nah, they ain't wearing. Y'all ain't wearing it like me. Watch.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't freak them like this.
Nah. Let me step out the closet. Let me show y'all. Nah, no thank you.
Oh man, let's move on to the GOAT,
Which one?
Hove, the one and only.
Oh.
Show me what
There's
you
a lot
got.
of Hove hate, a lot of GOAT hate going around lately. Big Gip from the legendary Goody Mob had some Hove hate, saying Hove was never as big as Tupac. Spice One, West Coast legend, said Hove never put out an album better than All Eyes on Me. 50 said Hove was not on the level of, I don't know, Eminem or something.
Yo, I seen this video on Twitter where it's a dude and he's talking about every year since Hove came out with Reasonable that he wasn't the hottest rapper.
Never the hottest.
The
I
hottest
did
rapper.
see that.
Never undisputably the hottest
rapper at that
rapper
one year.
of any year.
Of any year that he puts
says
something out.
like his opening is very
Questionable?
telling, and he says that Hove was never undebatably. So he was always in contention, according to Homeboy.
Yeah.
He was always in contention.
So he said
but
96.
He
That's
never
when
dominated. Like
Yeah.
that. So he said 96 was Tupac.
Yeah.
Yeah, because every
97 was
year,
big,
every
98
year
was
he
DMX.
mentioned somebody else. Yeah.
But what he failed to mention is
The
that
longevity.
from 96 to when he ended in I think 2016 or something, or possibly 2011 with Lil Wayne. Like what
The
one just said,
consistency,
the
yeah.
longevity, the consistency.
Yeah.
He said in 1 year Ludacris was better than Hove.
Yeah.
He did say
Which
that.
whatever, you have your opinion.
It's debatable.
Yeah, no, I mean, because
this is the
Luda did
perfect place
have.
for the conversation.
But that's what I'm saying. Even listening to it, the argument had validity, but it was kind of like to each his own.
But if tomorrow Luda dropped an album and Hove dropped an album, which I think is gonna move the
nobody
Hove.
listening to
Nah,
Luda.
That's what I think he failed to realize,
Yeah.
that Hove was always
His
in
longevity.
contention every year and
Yeah.
nobody else was. You know what I'm saying?
See, you know what I think it was too in his argument. A lot of the times, it would skew, like the numbers would skew to his debating that it wasn't Hove's year, and then
he
other
would
points of his
argue-
and then in other points of his argument, when Hove had the numbers, he would be like, "Oh, his popularity wasn't it," even though he
Yeah,
had
so
the
it's like,
numbers.
what's your
Right.
criteria?
Yeah,
Every
exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
He would
your
skew it
criteria
every-
is gonna change always to put him in the
Yeah.
lower position.
Right,
and
right.
that,
In a losing position.
And you
And
can
who's saying this?
Some random guy.
Yeah,
And-
it's on Twitter. If I find it, I'll send it to you.
Sales doesn't equal impact.
Right.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree though. I don't think sales equate to impact either.
Yeah.
But I also say, like, here's the shit with Jay. Like, Jay has influence. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Jay's one of the most
influenced the
influential
culture.
artists, right?
He's
I think even to
influenced
this
a lot
day.
of the culture, but it's one of those things where he's influenced, but he's also taken. he's taken and been influenced.
Yeah.
Because like when you think about early Jay, he was spitting fast. He got around big, slowed it down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then he started chilling with the Philly kids, and then he kind of started jacking their flows.
Right.
So there's a lot of influence that Jay gets. You can see the Nas influence, you can see the Big influence, you can see the Young Chris, like the Ye influence.
All that,
There's a lot of it. So I think what Jay's been really good at is seeing the better part of people and incorporating it into what he does.
Being able to adapt to his
Yeah.
adaptability.
Yeah.
Bun B just did an interview, and I didn't even know that the beginning of the 99 Problems bar, where he's like, just a long time, not too long ago, a nigga like, oh, had a strong arm.
And
That's a Bun B
that's a
line.
Bun B
I
bar.
never
Yeah,
even knew that.
yeah,
So they
yeah.
was asking Bun B, they was like, yo, how do you feel about the fact that people listen to that and won't even consider Bun B? That's automatically a
conversation.
99 Problems. And he was like, he don't personally feel away. He was like, of course you're gonna associate it with him because you're associated with that song.
Right.
But
He's a bigger artist.
But if you're
Yeah.
a true student of hip hop, you would have
You would know.
recognized
You
him.
would
you know that he was
so
the
you
originator.
can't blame Jay-Z. You more so
Yeah.
got to blame the listener.
I
True.
think, but
True.
that's been a part of the culture forever. Like everybody, you take like a one line or a two line from
Yeah.
this person and that person and flip it into something else.
Yeah.
Hov has just been like one of those people that's done it a lot more blatantly. You know what I'm saying?
And because he's so big, everybody sees it and
Yeah.
recognizes
But
it.
you know what? In that situation, I feel like because of Hov, the masses recognize UGK commercially because he
Oh,
was the
yeah.
one that put him on his album.
Yeah.
So he gets to do that. You feel me? Like he's showing props at the same time. You can't say he's biting.
Right.
You feel me? So it's
not
like,
a, what is that? Not a biter. I'm a writer for myself, and others are
Yeah,
saying
I
big
remember
verse.
that. Yeah, I remember that.
Brother.
So a
he's
story,
He's an innovator. You feel me? He's an innovator. I thought you were talking about the shit online that got leaked. That some dude was saying that all his lyrics were like bitten. Did you hear that? You ever heard that?
yeah, I heard that clip. It was
Yeah.
it was a dude from Harlem. It was one of Cam's people when they were beefing.
Oh, that he
And
chopped
then-
it up.
Yeah,
into,
but then somebody actually released the same with Cam.
Yeah.
With Cam biting other
Yeah,
people's
yeah,
lines
yeah.
too.
Oh,
So
You just gonna
Yeah.
find that in hip hop.
Yeah.
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 You're gonna find that.
Everybody does it, bro. A story that I just heard confirmed, which I found this out like yesterday. We've spoken here about who had the best verse on Reservoir Dogs. A classic song, Jay-Z, The Lots,
Yeah.
Beanie, Sauce Money. So it turns out that we had speculated that Styles P was dissing Jay-Z on his own song.
Right.
And it's been confirmed. And the story states that
Yeah.
the Locks were on tour and they had just landed and they got a call. And Jay was like, yo, I want y'all on this song. And they were like, cool. And he was like, no, but I mean like right now.
Yeah.
And they just landed and they got their luggage, not carry-on luggage, but actual
Yeah.
fucking luggage.
Maleta and shit.
And he, not that he made them come to the studio with
he
their
pressed
luggage,
them.
Yeah.
but he needed them at the moment. And
Yeah.
they came to the studio with their big-ass luggage and Styles P was pissed off. He wasn't feeling that. So they didn't all record that day, but the next day Styles came to lay his verse and he was still angry. So that hence, I don't give a fuck who you are. So fuck who you are.
I don't care about a pretty bitch
watch your car,
I
yo.
don't care about.
I
Oh,
don't
Yeah.
care
I don't care about your album or whatever
it
it
drops.
drop,
I don't care
yeah.
about your past.
So he's angry.
Yo,
And
Yeah.
he's talking to him.
Yeah.
Yo,
That's fine.
And I think
That's
that's,
crazy.
legendary. I had never confirmed.
Now having that
the theory.
backstory.
that's like
yeah.
Pound Cake. Yeah, if
Yeah.
y'all listen to Pound Cake,
Yeah.
Drake and Jay
Jay,
are
yeah.
literally
I had
dissing each
what
other
I-
on the record.
I have
But that all-
Benzes for you. Had braces.
I have Benz, yeah.
But that also that's another steady theme with Jay-Z, how he's always going at the other artists that he's on the songs with.
Yeah.
Like if you
Well, that's competitive, bro. That's
Yeah.
like Michael Jordan taking everything personal.
Yeah.
or fabricating like something and being like yeah.
Shaq made up a story that Shaq made up a story. My bad, blood. Go ahead.
Cannabis and LL, same shit on the 54321.
54321.
Yeah. Shaq had made up a story that David Robinson dissed him as a kid and didn't give him an autograph.
Oh, I did hear about that. Yeah, I did
And it
hear
was
about
all made up. These super competitive people make up fucking dramas in their brain
Yeah.
to give them a little
Fuel.
extra push.
Yeah.
Yeah. But shout out to Hov, man. Shout out to all the Hov haters. When you're a GOAT, people will hate on you. Speaking of GOATs, recently Jim Jones came out and said Drake is the GOAT.
Ooh.
What do y'all
Jim
think?
Jones said that?
Jim Jones said that. Jimmy.
Okay, the GOAT in at least in what terms or in reference to what?
Yeah.
What are you the GOAT of?
The GOAT. I don't know. Jim Jones said he the GOAT, bro.
Okay, I got a
GOAT
question.
artist.
I think I'm gonna
So,
do a track with him or something.
Right. Yeah.
He's trying.
That's the Grease the Palm.
Well,
That,
Drake did bring them out at the
He brought them
Apollo
out at the
show.
Apollo, yeah.
He put
yeah.
out
So that was love. That's
that
all
limited
that was.
edition Jeff Hamilton Dipset.
And he also
leather.
bought Cam fur.
Yeah.
He bought the
He bought it.
pink, yeah.
The pink cam
Yeah.
fur. Yeah,
And he
bought
bought Pharrell's old jewelry.
Yeah.
So he's
He
out
on the-
collecting.
Yeah, it's
He's collecting
his
hip hop
own
trinkets.
nostalgia.
It's-
Yeah.
nah, he's good at like doing all the Infinity Stones and shit.
Yo,
He's trying to get-
but it's funny because
Yeah.
the world kind of got mixed reviews. A lot of people think that that's kind of corny.
It is.
Yeah,
Both.
I don't think it's corny. I think, look, if you think about
I
it
think it's dope.
as a connoisseur of hip hop culture, right?
Right.
To be able to say like, oh, I got this is like, I forgot what movie it is, but it's like you ever see like people that are rich and it's like, oh, like look, this is I forgot what movie it was, but the dude was like, he's like, oh look, this is Lance Armstrong's left testicle. He's like, I had it freeze dried. You know what I'm saying? And bronzed it. You know what I'm
I
saying?
can't think about it, but
Yeah, I know what movie you're talking about.
Yo, where the guy like he was just collecting mad shit from athletes, and it was like, yo, just shit that was mad expensive.
That was
mad.
Ted.
There you go, Ted.
Ted.
Yeah, the boss.
The boss, yeah, homegirl's boss. Yeah.
Yo, but it's like, yo, think about it, right? If you become a part of a culture, and you can actually sit here and take these pieces of these iconic parts of the culture, it's like
Of the history,
everybody knows that pink.
Pharrell
mink
piece,
coat.
yeah.
Everybody
Or
knows
the Pharrell piece
The
and
Pharrell
shit.
piece. There's just certain things that you know. This was like, who was it that when Ludacris did the video where he had the Mike Tyson shit on, or the Mr. T jewelry. You know what I'm saying? Busta Rhymes. Excuse me, it was Busta Rhymes with the Mr. T jewelry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I had the bread, I would buy the fucking Ghostface
Eagle.
the
Eagle piece.
Eagle.
You know what I'm saying? Or the Caesar plate that he had. Like, yo, there's just certain things that is like, yo, I would buy like the RZA's SP1200 as a producer. Right? You know what I'm saying? I would buy.
You know what he
I
could
need
do?
that paid in full, V.
Son, I bought an NBC.
BBS's.
What we saying, Blood?
Blood?
He could have his own museum. Like, you ever been to the Hard Rock?
Yeah.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know,
he could do his own hip hop joint. You know
that
what
shit
I'm
is
saying?
nostalgia.
Hove bought the Biggie crown
He bought the Biggie crown. Yo, when
for
Sony
like $400,000, and it was like a $12 fucking.
Yeah, it's like a plastic
just to
crown
have
and
it,
shit,
but
yeah.
it's
but
the nostalgia of it.
and it's that
Like,
nobody
it's
else can have it.
history.
It's not like
Now you got it.
there's only one. You know, there's probably a billion of those crowns. 'Cause
But
they
that
mass-produced
there's only one that he
shit.
wore.
But there's only one
Yo,
from that day. that photo shoot.
when I was working at Sony and they closed the studio, I bought an MPC just because this was the MPC that Kanye used to use when he was in the building.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, yo, if I'm gonna. They were selling all the equipment, and I was like, I need that MPC.
Yeah.
That's the one that I want.
Right.
Because to
You
me, it
still
was
got
like,
it?
nah, I sold it.
Look. My man hit you with the Smithsonian story, right? And then said, I got the Holy Grail.
I got the only.
But I gave it away.
Yo, but you know
Had his DNA
what?
on it.
Yo, but here's the thing, because it only meant something to me.
Right.
Anybody else that seen that NPC wouldn't know what the fuck it was. The only reason it meant something to me was because I worked there. I saw him use it.
you
and
knew
I
what it
knew
was.
That I was like, yo, these pads were blessed by like Kanye.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
at the end of the day, it's like same thing. He could have went and bought any mink coat.
Yeah.
He went and bought Cam's mink coat.
Right,
He went
exactly.
and bought like those pieces because it's what it meant to him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And he's a fan, bro. We're all fans.
So that's what he the GOAT of being a fan.
So that was gonna be my next question. So do you agree with Jim, and do you agree that he's the GOAT?
No.
He quickly said no.
He's the GOAT of his generation.
I would say that.
Yeah.
I would say he's the
He's
GOAT of
the
his
biggest
generation.
artist. He's the biggest.
Yeah, but
he's not equivalent to Michael Jackson because there'll never be another Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Right.
But he's as big as Michael Jackson was when he was Michael Jackson.
At the
I just
height
feel
of his powers?
I just feel like we need to know the context. I feel like whenever you making a GOAT argument, you need to know the context.
Yeah.
Like, what is Jim Jones basing it on? Because
That's what I
now
said,
it's
yeah.
like, are you to go to hip hop? Are you to go to music? Because
Yeah.
you gotta think about it. Drake is
He's a pop
genre,
artist.
but regardless, he tap into different genres.
Yeah.
My man will be on Afro beats. He'll be on pop shit. He'll be on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that.
I would say he's the GOAT of record sales. If you want to talk
That's
about
for his
Sales,
metrics,
GOAT of sales.
the GOAT of sales. If you talk about
Sales.
numbers and
Okay.
metrics,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
maybe not necessarily influence, maybe not necessarily bars,
Yeah.
right? But if we're gonna talk about record sales from like his beginning to now, like how many artists are outselling Drake?
Yeah.
Like this dude's
Nobody.
doing stadiums. Like
Exactly.
he's not doing clubs. He's not doing venues.
Yeah, no,
he's
his
doing
catalog
stadiums.
is mean.
He got a mean catalog.
That's the
He's
only
collabed
one
with
that
some
you
of the
can't
best
argue.
artists.
Is sales because
That's
you can
it, yeah.
prove that shit. Everything
Yeah.
else is opinion, bro.
True,
Every
true.
other GOAT argument
Metric,
is
yeah.
opinion. When
Except
it comes
for sales.
to sales,
It's definitive.
But that goes back to sales doesn't necessarily equate to
Greatness.
impact or
I agree.
greatness.
But that's what I'm saying. It depends on what your metric is.
It's kind of like LeBron and Jordan. Like, you feel me? LeBron is the GOAT of now because of his numbers. But nobody could duplicate the magic that Jordan did on the basketball court in our time.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
But what I love is that eventually goats fade, yo.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, yeah.
there was a point that Kareem was the GOAT.
Yeah.
And nobody now argues for Kareem's GOATness. Nobody
Yeah.
argues for Big Daddy Kane's GOATness. Nobody
Yeah.
argues.
But
you know
that's
what
why
I'm
even
saying?
the term GOAT is kind of crazy. Because it's like GOAT is the greatest of all time. All time is a long time.
Yeah.
And it's still opinion based.
But there is no all time, because think about it. It's like there's only eras.
Yeah, because time ain't gonna stop. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Relatively to what you talking about.
Unless
It's like,
you infinite.
yeah, right? Because
Well, time don't exist.
Time is a,
To
it's
go
a
to a
social
different-
construct.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah.
That's
So to now,
That's a whole
yeah.
scale.
So
That's a whole
we
different
ain't high enough
podcast.
for that one.
Right.
But shout out to Jim Jones. He actually just dropped a new album. It came out this Friday. It's with Hitmaker. He says that he is hitting his peak as an artist.
I believe
So
it.
y'all
Jones?
go check that out. Yeah,
Yeah.
damn. I want to tell y'all the name.
I like
real quick.
Jones' bodies of work.
Yo,
man.
Jimmy's like fine wine.
Yeah.
He gets better with age.
Like El, what is
because-
it? El Capo.
Back in My Prime is actually the name of it.
Yeah,
So,
Oh, nice.
El Capo was it.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot of songs off of El Capo.
Nah, yeah,
I
that was a
like.
great
Yo,
album.
he's my pick for most improved rapper from like 2019 to now. Yo, word up.
Yo,
Yeah.
I feel like Jim Jones is like Benjamin Budding with lyricism. Like
Yeah.
he's
Nah, he's definitely most improved artist because man,
Yeah, nah, for sure.
I never really seen myself quoting Jim Jones songs.
Nah,
bro.
yeah.
nah, he's matured.
I mean, he got the impact stuff, certified gangsta, all that shit.
Yeah.
But it's like nobody was really quoting a whole Jim Jones verse.
No.
Now you might have one. Somebody asked me to rap a Jim Jones verse, I might not die.
Yeah.
Who do you
true.
think has a better discography, Cam or Jones?
Jones.
Discography, yeah.
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 One. What do you think?
Oh,
damn.
that's
You know what? But that's my opinion because I don't like that Rudy Tooty, fresh or fruity.
yeah,
Bought
yeah.
my mama into the,
I like
a bunch of jewelry.
so for
Like,
me, I think it's I would say it's a dead draw because I like early Cam
Yes.
and for me
horse and carriage came.
exactly like
Yeah.
Children of the Corn,
Children
like
of the Corn,
sports.
word.
What is it? Sports, drugs,
S-
and
yeah,
entertainment.
SDE,
yeah,
yeah.
like I like that Cam, but I think the last Cam thing that was like. Welcome to New York City. What album was that? Come Home With Me?
Yeah.
Come Home With Me was probably like the last. That was probably the last Cam album that I enjoyed. Like
Fucking,
Did you ever listen to Purple Haze
Champions.
too?
Yeah.
I didn't hear Purple Haze 2.
It was
Check
pretty
it
good.
out.
It was
pretty good.
I'll check
Yeah.
out Purple Haze
It was
2.
pretty
Purple
good.
Haze 1 was alright, like but like I feel like early Cam versus later Cam, I always side with early Cam. With Jones, I'll
Yeah.
always say later Jones.
Yeah.
Because early Jones was like,
Of course.
Yeah, nah. he
But early Jones had a hunger in his fucking voice, bro. Like his bars wasn't the best, but he was.
he had
just-
energy
Them
because he
niggas
was
was
happy to
goons.
be on.
Feel
That's
him,
why.
yeah.
Them
because-
niggas was goons. That whole Purple City Bird gang, all of that. Like they rapped like, nigga, if you even in the booth with us, you better bring your shit or you might get jumped out of here.
Oh yeah, bro.
Well, I don't know if niggas want
Shout
to
out
be
to
in that
Dipset though,
stuff.
man. Shout out to Drake. Shout out to Jones. Let's get into Joe Budden versus Logic. Joe
shit.
Budden says Logic should retire immediately, throw his phone in the ocean, and never get near a recording device again.
I thought Logic
Wow.
already did retire though.
Logic retired and came back.
Yeah.
He just dropped his first independent album after his Def Jam deal ended. And
How did that do?
Joe Budden ain't feeling it. How did the album go?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know, bro.
didn't hear it?
I agree with Joe Budden.
You don't like Logic
I
at
don't
all?
like
I don't
Logic,
listen to
no.
it.
At all? You've never liked Logic?
No, and it's funny because the brother Justin D, shout out to Justin D Live, he worked Logic's albums while he was on Def Jam, and he actually took me to a show in the Barclay Logic did, and
Yeah.
he put on a good show. I'm not gonna front,
Yeah.
but I never had the urge to go back and revisit the music. I never had the urge to listen to anything new from him. He just don't do it for me personally as a
Yeah.
rapper. But he has a very thorough like fan base. Like
He
people
does,
really
yeah.
love him and
Yeah.
fuck with
Yeah.
him.
He has a cult following.
Yeah, so I don't hate on him. I'm just not a fan personally. But Joe Budden hates on him.
Joe Budden's been hating on him for a long time though.
So,
Yeah,
so
like
the
they have, like,
argument
I feel like
is,
Joe Budden
uh,
don't like nobody.
So the
yo.
argument then is who's the better rapper, Joe Budden or Logic?
Ooh.
All right,
Joe
so
Budden don't
here's, hold on.
He retired. Joe Budden
retired.
retired.
Word, like,
So here's my thing, right? Like, I like Logic with his flows and pockets and his production choices.
Uh-huh.
I think he picks like solid beats, right?
Yeah.
And the boy can rap.
And he can rap. He can rap.
Yeah. he might not rap about nothing that matters. Or
Now that's where the argument lies in this debate. For me, it's like Joe Budden is a fucking pours his whole fucking heart out on a record.
Yes.
Like Joe Budden shows you sides of him that like no other artist can do.
Right.
I think the only artist that's coming close to that is Drake.
Right.
Like, where Drake like gets
he's very
personal.
vulnerable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Joe Budden is so vulnerable with his music that it's like you know that he makes his best music when he's in a fucked up situation.
Yeah.
I hate Happy Joe Budden.
Yeah.
Happy Joe Budden is
I
like,
can't relate to him.
nigga,
That's probably why
but-
he hasn't made any new music.
Exactly, but the minute he's going through heartbreak, the minute the fucking
He's
him and
depressed and
Tahiri are
shit.
going through it, yo, like what Tahiri Joe Budden was the best fucking Joe Budden ever because their
Hell
relationship
yeah.
was so toxic that he was so vulnerable. Mood music, that whole mood
All
music
the
saga,
OSLs.
yo, like
That's
Ordinary Love Story.
what's the other one he was with?
Slaughterhouse.
No. He's talking about chicks.
Tahiri,
Baxter?
he was with
Baxter.
Esther Baxter.
Esther.
So he,
Because that's
listen,
who the Ordinary Love Story
his
is.
shorty.
Oh, that one was about
I
Esther.
feel like because that's the one with the
I like
the
that
drama.
story.
That's the one with the drama. Yeah, that's the one that
But
lost
the
baby.
fourth one,
Yeah.
I think the fourth one was about Tahiri.
It was about Sin Santana. I mean, not Sin Santana.
Sin Santana was in the video.
She was in the video. Who's the shorty that he was dating in between? Caitlyn.
Yeah,
Caitlyn.
Nah, yeah.
So no
Heartbroken
votes
Budden.
for Logic?
For me,
I can't tell you a lot.
I gotta agree with
I'ma
what
go with
he's
Joe Budden, man.
with what one said though. Like Logic does fit in. You know, he's a very good technical rapper.
Yeah, technical rapper.
Yeah.
But he has no substance. It's like
Right.
it's like Floyd Mayweather versus Tyson.
Yeah.
Which champion was better?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Fucking Mike was a beast.
Yeah, he went
Floyd
off.
fights
He wasn't
get boring.
technical.
Yeah.
Floyd knows how to outpunch you.
Yo.
He knows
And
how to
defend.
block you.
Counter and all that shit,
So
yeah.
he knows how to win on the scoreboards, but he won't knock a motherfucker out like Tyson will. He's not going knocking. Man, listen. So to me, it's like that's the conversation.
Yeah.
We're talking about Logic, who's a technical rapper who got pockets. He can
Yeah,
flow.
yeah.
But like, what the fuck are you saying?
are you
Versus
really talking
Joe
about?
Budden
Yeah.
that like he'll spit, but like you get goosebumps listening to this motherfucker.
Absolutely.
What if I told you that a lot of that shit that you love about Joe Budden was all lies? Because he's a master liar too. He's a master manipulator.
He sold it well.
honestly,
No, he sold it well. Yeah.
well.
I believe that everything that these people were rapping about is lies anyway.
Well, Dr. Dre said that. He said,
I seen
believe everything, 98% of rap is all bullshit.
I don't
It
know
is.
who
A
said
lot of
it,
this
but
should be
somebody
cap.
just recently said the reason why rappers becomes such good actors is because
They've been acting all
yeah,
along.
they be lying in their raps.
Yeah. Let's
There's
move
very
on.
few of them that live that shit.
I want to say this really quick about Logic is that the difference between Joe Budden and Logic is that Logic is not for us. He's not for our time. So I give him props because he's an actual rapper. He's not like one of these kids that are mumble rapping or singing. He's fucking rapping. So I give him props for that. And I never really fuck with neither of them though, to tell you the truth, Joe Budden or Logic. So I'll keep it a tie.
My man said no to everybody.
No, I dig it, bro. And we're not shitting on either or.
Yeah.
Again, Logic, much respect to him and what he's accomplished. And he had that big suicide song. I'm always, I'll always appreciate that.
Yeah, because I sat here and the second that it came out my mouth, I can't tell you a one Logic song. That's the first thing that popped into my head. His suicide prevention song. So big up to the.
And like I said, he puts on a hell of a fucking show, bro.
Yeah.
He puts on a hell of a show.
How about
Joe
the
Budden
show?
puts on a fucking
How about
show.
the show that he put on when he did It Was a Good Day live?
That was not one of his best moments, and probably
Y'all seen
something
that?
that he should.
What happened?
He did.
He covered Ice Cube's "It Was a Good Day" in a
Oh, no.
singy version,
like melodic type.
Just a bad idea, but everybody gets. I don't know.
No thank
Everybody is allowed to make a mistake or two. I guess as an artist.
Yeah.
You can't sing Ice Cube songs. Like,
Yeah.
if you're not spitting that shit, like,
And Mama cooked the breakfast with no hogs.
That's how it went. Yo, that's how it was. Yo, dead ass.
That's horrible.
Yeah. No, you gotta look that up.
He should have kept that
He should
one.
have stayed retired, yo.
Yeah, he should have kept that one in the vault.
in the
yo.
stash. Word.
Speaking of the vault, rumor is that the Commission album was actually recorded before Biggie died, and it exists somewhere, and it is in a vault somewhere.
Yeah.
Stop playing with my emotions.
hold on. But
Why? I don't fucking know.
But y'all
That's my
gave
question.
us Born Again and Biggie duets.
Right? That's
Yeah,
giving
that's
that's giving
fucked up.
what you call it vibes. Martin Shkreli, remember he
Martin
did
Shkreli with the
yeah,
Wu-Tang
with the
album.
Wu Tang.
Yeah,
Yeah, you better
he had
give
the
us
party
that
singer.
project, bro.
Yo,
Stop
drop that
put-
shit.
right.
Yeah. So, what if Diddy got it?
I think Diddy got it and spit that shit himself.
And
Probably used all of the
recycled
material,
verses.
right? So now if we did listen to it, we'd be like, that's that Puff verse from
From
Press play number 7.
if you ask me, I think like a lot of Puff's first album was that shit. Victory. I don't
Yeah.
think none. I don't think none
But
of that.
Big was alive for Victory.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also
And
feel
I
like
think
the Puff-
Jada wrote.
Jada wrote a lot. I mean,
Jada
we know
was
that.
Puff's
Wow,
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah.
And
Jada was
look,
writing a lot
I
for
found
Big.
out
for
a
Puff
lot
at
of
that
stuff
point.
from the verses.
Yeah.
the-
What he wrote, right?
Yeah.
I theorized yesterday that maybe Puff got it and he can't put it out until Jay dies.
Or he won't put it out till Jay dies? Maybe.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't Jay sign off on that?
Yo, but what if Jay
Because,
outlived
like-
Puff? Then we're never gonna get it.
Because Jay's afraid Puff is gonna puff him. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm gonna take 90% of this.
Well,
And you-
Jay's rich enough that it don't matter.
Yeah, I don't
Where
know.
did this come from? Who's the source?
Yeah.
I can't be revealing my sources now,
Man,
blood.
so,
Come on
what's
it
the
now.
don't-
source?
Plus, it don't matter. It don't matter. We don't source check over here.
No. Also, my number one source is YouTube.
Man, so we don't source.
So don't trust none of my. I've told you this before on the
Yeah,
show.
that's what I just
Don't
said, yeah.
trust none of my sources.
This is surely opinionated.
Yeah,
Look,
all that shit is
all the
bullshit.
posts are gonna have when you post it on the gram, it's gonna have that fact checking thing underneath it.
Yeah.
Like, you might wanna check.
You say
We need
you
a
think
track.
rappers lie a lot? Fucking podcasters beat them easy. Nah, but if it does exist, Puff, if you're listening, please put it
Drop
out,
that
man.
shit,
Damn.
bro.
I'm surprised that more new Biggie didn't drop after he died, like verses that were unreleased. And
Yeah.
But it's
But
like,
you know,
but it's like it's like one said earlier. You gave us fucking duets, but you won't give us the commission.
And
what
Born
I'm saying?
Again too. Yeah. Fuck out of here. He would have been dropped that shit.
Born Again was what I feel like that's what the commission
Correct.
should have been. They should have gave us one last fucking bomb ass big album. And
Yeah.
Born Again was
Born Again was so
But
rushed
but
and
Or,
tragically.
or what if I just thought of this. What if it does exist? Puff has it, but he doesn't think it's good enough to be out because maybe it was
Because it
incomplete,
would've-
like he said.
because then we
No,
would have got
but-
fucking
no,
Machiavelli,
no,
big
no.
Machiavellis. Like that shit was whack. Like after a while, I got tired of hearing like Pac old
If it-
verses
if it-
on
if it-
other songs.
if
You
it
know what
was
I'm saying?
like-
And some of the
Biggie
Machiavellis
album.
wasn't even pop.
They wasn't official.
There was Homeboy from No Limit.
Yeah.
I won't remember his name, but there was a guy on No Limit Records that
That sounded like
just
Pac,
like
yeah.
Tupac.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And some of the Machiavellis that came out were his albums.
Yeah.
And they just sold them
Yeah.
as Machiavellis.
That's
But
wild.
we'll see. Hopefully, we will get the commission one day. Hopefully, Red Boots will disappear and Mario Shoes will disappear. Hopefully, Sean Kemp is okay. Hopefully, John Moran gets through his shit. And keep it real, I like the John Morants. I don't know if y'all seen them, the Nike John
Yeah,
Morant
yeah.
signature
Yeah,
shoe.
yeah.
I kind of thought them shits was pretty dope.
were cool.
And I might want to get me a pair. So, Ja, I got your back. I'll hold the gun for you.
Yeah.
Send me some kicks. It's all good.
Bang, bang, job game.
Shout out to Joe Budden. Shout out to Logic. Shout out to Hov.
You better get him one of them purses,
Shout
a
out
man
to
bag,
Joe.
and shit.
Clout bags.
I feel like he got one or two, bro.
Oh,
These
I
young
can't
guys
stand
don't
that,
know.
yo.
With his long ass head.
Yeah,
He look like
man.
He look like a thug ass aunt.
Yo, you stupid.
He's so like he's got a friendly face, bro.
Yeah.
Friendly, like approachable.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
run
like
into
John
him
Moran
and feel
looks
like
like
I
a
gotta
good
come up out my
kid,
shit.
yeah.
It's just, yeah.
But maybe that's why he got the gun. Maybe people think he's soft.
thought she was
Oh,
sweet.
this
You
shit,
know,
right?
they have to fuck
He
around and
gets
find
tested
out.
a lot. Yeah.
But shout out to him, man. Shout out to all the fans and shit. Let's get into our guesses. We got a couple subjects we want to get into. First and foremost, congratulations, y'all. The album has released. It's out on all the
Okay.
One project by Joe Carter, produced entirely by One Got Beats, dropped in 2023.
January 1st, top of the year.
Delayed. I'm gonna assume longer than y'all would have liked.
Absolutely.
What played into the delays? What would you put? I don't want to say the blame, but what would you?
I would honestly say health and finances.
Okay, so let's get into the health first.
COVID.
COVID.
Last time you were here, we talked about your health. and some of the trials and tribulations that you go through and how you overcome. And I want to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, that after you were here, your health, you kind of took like a downward turn.
Yep.
Things got a little bad and stuff.
Yeah. So currently I'm still undergoing tests. Right now, I'm not even in treatment phase. I'm in diagnostic phase. So we trying to figure out exactly what is going on with my body so that we can even determine. So now it's like it's no more a bunch of meds. Now my baseline medication is I take water pills and then I take blood pressure medication. So that's just baseline stuff. But now I'm doing tests. I did a cardiac catheterization where they had to go in through my neck. So what they did with that, right? The shit was very trippy, right? So I go in for the procedure. For one, I'm awake through the whole thing.
Wow.
So they got this tube in my neck and it's in my heart in the beginning. So I'm laying down so they could get baselines. So they go into my heart, then they take it out the heart, then they put it in my lungs, have me breathe and stuff, and then they just go and see pretty much what my stuff is doing baseline.
And you're awake.
I'm awake the whole time.
Is there like a TV?
Yeah, TV right
Like
next
a
to the
monitor?
left.
You're inside heart and shit?
Yeah. Because you can
that's
see
gotta be
all of
bugged
that
out.
with the tube and everything.
Yeah,
because what
sick.
they doing is they just trying to figure out the correlation between how I feel and stuff like that and you know the readings or whatever. So with that, they had me laying down, get the base level. They had me sitting up. Like I said, repeat the process in the heart, in the lungs.
Right.
Then they strapped saline bags. So I had a 3-pound saline bag on left leg, 3-pound saline bag on the right leg. They had me doing leg lifts, sitting on the edge of the table.
Like activity type.
Yeah,
shit.
activity type stuff. Then they had me with like a 5-pound, whatever pound saline bag, my arm straight up ahead. And then I had to hold that position. Now, what they looking for is in my moment of exertion, what is my heart doing? And what happened is my heart laying down gave the base levels, sitting up, same levels, activity 15 minutes in, same levels. So whereas before I had an overactive heart where I could be doing nothing and then it'll start
would be
going
racing.
crazy and then by the end of that I feel exhausted. Now through any type of exertion, my heart rate electronically isn't synced with what my body is asking it to do. So I could climb up here steps and by the time I get to the top of the steps, I'm so out of breath because my heart didn't start beating fast enough to
didn't-
get my muscles
right,
and the blood flowing and the oxygen flowing. So yeah. So it's kind of adverse, kind of crazy. So that was a bit frustrating for me because from seeing y'all last time, the road to recovery was go do a stress test. Doing the stress test, depending on what the stress test said, it was either going to be cardiac rehab and recovery or, damn, back to the drawing board. And it's back to the drawing board. Because during the stress test, I was on a treadmill, oxygen mask, same thing. No matter how long I was on the treadmill,
Your
I'm
heart wouldn't
getting out
kick
of
up.
breath. It just wouldn't. It wouldn't raise above, I want to say 105, they said. And our heart rates go through zones.
That is there anything they can give you to make your heart race? Like maybe adrenaline or something?
No, but see, that's the thing, right? Before it was overactive. So I
Right.
had stuff like amiodarone or metoprolol that would pretty much lower it. But now in this case where my situation has gone, they need to take me off of metoprolol because metoprolol will keep your heart rate low.
Right.
When now my
And they
heart
don't-
rate is low.
Right, your heart rate's low enough now that they don't want
They
to.
don't-
Yeah.
you don't
So
know
now
anything.
instead of saying like, all right, we're gonna give him adrenaline or something like that, then now you gotta figure out, okay, cool. If his heart was overactive and that was the issue, and now you know that's not the issue, then what did we do or what happened
Right.
to where now it's the low end that's a problem? Like before it was too up. Now it won't get up there. So I think that instead of filling me with medication, what they trying to do is develop an idea behind what the cause is. Because you keep treating something, but you don't know what's going on. Because they were treating me, and it's wild, because they were treating me for overactive heart rate, congestive heart failure, AFib. They said AFib is more random than the cause. So it happens, but something is causing that. Like they had to shift trajectory because now we got to figure out like, yo, we were focused on these things, looking for that to change or whatever. You are in a position where those things that we were concerned about before, they're still concerning, but they ain't even primary. Like that's not the least of their worries.
Wow.
Yeah. So I just recently, my latest exam, I went to an electrophysiologist, and all they pretty much did, because I have a recorder in a heart monitor in my body implanted. So all they did was pretty much read that, and it determined that I still had extra heartbeats. So what they want me to do, I have this on my keychain. I have like this, I call it the life alert, right? So it's a button. So whenever I feel crazy, I push the button turn blue. And then the second that I connect it, it turned green. All I do is send a signal to the hospital letting them know that I'm feeling strange. So they want me to push the button more because, I'm so used to how I be feeling. Sometimes it's just normal stuff to me. They're like, no, whatever you got used to, don't be used to that. It's strange. Push the button. Yeah. So they saying that now by pushing the button, they want to know if it's correlation between the extra heartbeats. Like pretty much they want to know pinpoint when am I feeling like crap and what is my body doing when I'm feeling like crap. So now they can know, okay, maybe it's the extra heartbeats, So if it is the extra heartbeats, they will just need to go in and do another cardiac ablation, which they did one before where they just go in and they burn off damaged sections of your heart to stop the firing from the electric signals to go all over the place. Now they'll be more centralized because you'll burn off the sections that are bad. So it might be something as simple as needing another ablation. It might be something that's needing a pacemaker. It might not be neither one of those, and it could be something else. So right now, everything that I'm doing now is more diagnostic. I'm in NYU with a heart failure specialist, and then I also am in St. Francis at a heart valve center. So what they do is they check for like clogged arteries, stuff like that, stents, things of that nature. And then NYU more so checking heart, muscle or tissue stuff. So yeah, everything right now is just diagnostic, and I think that's why I'm more kind of excited about everything that I'm doing now, because I feel like as before I was just sitting back waiting until I get better for me to shoot the starting gun. Now I feel like I didn't let it deter me. Going through the stress test and hearing that I'm not getting better, it didn't so much put me in the closet more than it did say, well, what am I waiting for?
Exactly.
Put it out, make performances, do what you got to do, because the last thing that I want to say is that I stepped on my own toes. Right. So there's hopes of getting better. Every day is a challenge, and every day I'm going to push myself the hardest that I can. But I had, faith in one direction, and, it wasn't that. So, rather than be so bugged out about that and so, like, sad or, feeling sorry for myself, it's just like, man, it's grind time. I came here, I was tired. Now I got my, energy. So it just take a while for my car to warm up. But but I mean, I'm here, bro. Every day is a blessing. And yeah, man, that's
what I was gonna tell you. I got the same thing done to me, the heart catheterization.
Okay.
But they went through my wrist instead of my neck. So they thought I was having a heart attack. And that's the scariest shit in the world. Like in that moment, you don't know what's going on, and they rushing and they're about to do like the defibrillator on me and shit, thinking I'm really having a heart attack. But that, led to me getting tested, and that's why I got the surgery on my face. So one thing led to another, and, at the end of the day, I'm being healthy and shit and being careful, but there's no point in being scared about it. I just got to live your life.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And I'm glad that you're doing good with your... No doubt. I'm glad that you're doing well with your stuff, man. It's just about that. It's about your perception, and it's just about not panicking. And just reaching deep inside yourself and just saying, yo, I got the integrity. I got the, I'm built for this. Whatever it is, I'm built for it. So that's just my attitude moving forward. And I'm just taking the things that will usually have me, sulk about the situation and just have it be motivation, man. I just want to do everything. I mess around with clothes. I want to do more of that. We got this beautiful project, man. I want everybody to hear it. I want everybody to see it. I want to shoot videos to every song. Like, my brain is working a mile a minute now, whereas before I was just a worry wart. And now, no. So I definitely didn't want it to go the way it went, but it did kind of ignite something in me.
So the universe don't lie, bro. So probably you had to go through that to get that level of motivation and to lose that level of self-doubt. Because another question I had for you was, once you've recorded the album and you're sitting on it for a few months and you go through your health stuff, at any point in that time frame do you begin to doubt the project? And think maybe it's not as good as I thought, or maybe I shouldn't put it out?
No, see, the craziest thing about me is, all right, so I'll stick with this project. The craziest thing about this project is I've never doubted anything about this project, ever.
Good.
The instruments, the beat, the production, anything. You know what I'm saying? I've treated this like a child from every step of the way, and I'm proud of every bit of this project. I just think that as time goes by, your focus shifts, and I think that with me, with everything that I'm going through, that's happening a lot now. Like, I don't really have the luxury of dwelling on certain things. You know what I'm saying? So I could be, you know, like what we spoke on last time, where I said I made a project about, you know, the trials and tribulations of a relationship. I'm not, you know, maybe we'll get back to that. You know, now, you know, I'm a project being in the hospital. We'll get back to that. This is a project of what, you know, what I did once I got out, and, you know, how I'm persevering and the type of person I am. So the longer that time went by, now my pen is just back working. And if anything, I'm probably jumping ahead of myself because I'm asking him for more beats. If anything, it's the antsiness of the creation process. I'm so in love with the creation process that I don't never doubt my music. It's so on to the next with me because I got so much of a story to tell, because I have, you know, so many ideas, and like I said, my focus is kind of always all over the place. So I think that was it. It was just a kind of, I want people to hear this so they can hear the next one, and so they can hear the one after that. Right. So I think that's it.
And where are we as far as the next one?
To be honest, right? I always want to record. One is a phenomenal producer. Let me just say that. Flowers to him, right? We have enough stuff, and it wasn't until we did this event, right? We did an event where I spoke about my project, and the engineer, he had mentioned that, you know, y'all kind of picked and choose from other songs and made this project, and I'm like, word, there's more songs. Yeah. So it's actually like we could right now put out another project based off of stuff that we got in the stash. Like, I wouldn't even have to record something new. Technically, but I want to, but still. So that's like, technically, if you ask like where are y'all on the next project, we a selection process away from putting something else out, but that's just because that's how it works.
Halfway, because we still want to put out like new shit as well.
Yeah, word.
You know, but the good thing about Carter is he works fast. Yeah. So it's like, you know, if I throw him a batch of beats, you know, before I know it, he's like, yo,
you get the songs back.
Got a couple joints. He'll like spit them for me, and I'll be like, all right, bet.
And I'm big on that. Like, I need my stuff critiqued. I'm not one of those, like, I need yes men around me. I will call one in a heartbeat and be like, bro, I just finished this verse. Let me know. It's corny.
Because that happened with Shaky. Because when he went in to record Shaky, we already had the project done. Yeah. And Raya was kind of like, yo, what are y'all doing? Like, no trip to Cali was taking on everything. I'm like, it is, but no crack and bacon, I think, because I remain playing beats, and he was like, yo, I want that. And then fucking 2 days later, there's a fucking song. So it was like, and then Raya was like, yo, you know, you sure? Like, does this project need this song? And he was like, yo, you tell me after I lay it down. And that's what and he heard Shaky and was like, all right,
we gotta put it on. Fuck.
Putting it on there. Fuck it.
That shit was dope.
Do you think sometimes your love for the creative writing process hinders you on the back end? Like, you want to focus so much on creating music that maybe you don't give yourself the time to shoot the videos or to market the album?
I would say it hinders me because what happens is being so focused on something, I don't think my mind goes there. And that's what I tell one sometimes, and I tell my other homeboy, I'm like, I love the fact that y'all come to me with y'all ideas, or the fact that I would even ask y'all and y'all can articulate it in ways that I can understand it, because sometimes my mind just not there. Right. Not to say that it wouldn't get there, but in the present moment, like, no. Because I'm still, like you said, I'm still like, all right, send me more beats so I can make.
You're always in writing mode.
I'm always in writing mode because I'm always hearing a remix. I'm always hearing a part 2. I'm always hearing like the after, you know? So he probably already in the marketing mode, the promo mode. So he probably already see the videos and stuff. Meanwhile, I'm looking for 1.5, then 2, then 2.5. I'm looking towards the next project. And if you give me beats in a month, I'll give you 4 more of the series. And then now it's like, but who's gonna, like my boy said in the event, who gonna record this? Who gonna put in, what we gonna figure out about the visuals? Like, all of that stuff are things that come later to me. Right. Because the creating process is just so natural to me. So I can sit down in a room by myself with a bunch of beats, make 20 projects, and then now sit here and just be like, all right, what now? Yeah. And it's like, We still got to market. We still got to promo. We still got to put together a plan. We still got to
Visuals.
perform it. You still got to, you need pictures. You need, and I think that, yeah, I could put myself in a bubble with the creating to a hindrance where it's like, no, we in promotion and marketing mode, bro. We did that already. Get out of the writing phase. Join us over here.
Right. Or, you know, you can, I don't think you ever get out of the writing phase, you know, because you're a writer.
Yeah.
Whatever. Everything will inspire you to write. You just have to, you know, do that after the video shoot or after, you know, we did the photo shoot or whatever the promo is for today, you know. On the drive home, then you could write or some shit. But make sure you get all the other shit done.
Yeah, but I've definitely been like a sponge, and I'm glad that they're here to help me because I'm learning so much about Twitter Spaces with one. I'm just learning about so many other avenues and spaces to promote myself and to connect and to have other people view my content because, yeah, like I said, I just be in the house. With the headphones on.
It's a different day, bro. Artists can no longer just be the artist, especially if you're independent. You can't just show up to the studio and rap and go home.
And that's why I tell them, I'm like, bro, you know, you can continue to share this content. It's not like, you know, once you post it, like, I don't got to post it. Like, no, you got to post that shit a lot. You know, find new, different ways to post it, whereas, like, now people are engaging with it differently. You know, so it's like...
And find what works.
Yeah.
Find your lane, you know?
Doing all of that. Like, even what he was talking about with Twitter Spaces, like, introducing him to, like, different networks of listeners that aren't the traditional hip-hop listeners. You know, like, some of these dudes just hear people fucking rap on the internet, and, like, some of these people are just sharing their music with each other. So now it's like people aren't looking for music in traditional sources because now this is like file sharing.
Right,
you know, where you're meeting networks of people that are just sharing music, sharing art, sharing, you know.
And if you find the right community, they already know your taste. You know what I'm saying? So,
they follow up with you differently. So it's like, and with some of these platforms, you have like a direct to
customer.
So it's like you can really build your community based off of your story, based off of your music, based off of how people relate to you. You know, so I tell them all the time, I'm like, yo, you know, jump on some of these platforms with me because I spend a lot of time speaking online now. With like some of this Web3 shit. So like, you know, and even transitioning into music over there. Like one of the things that we did was we put the project on Emanate, which is a Web3 streaming platform. Right. So what they do is like Emanate's paying the artist a penny to 10 cents a stream versus traditional streaming platforms that are paying you 0.0033.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
fractions on the penny.
Exactly. So I'm like, yo, go get your whole penny. Those pennies add up. You know what I'm saying? They listen to it 100 times. That's $1. They listen to your shit 100 times on fucking Spotify. It's like 3 cents.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like just running it up like that. And because they're a relatively new streaming platform, they pay in crypto. And you could transition that shit over. And we put the project on that platform. They put them on their homepage as a featured artist. They were promoting the project. They had songs on different playlists and shit. So shout out to Emanate.
I mean, I know it sounds crazy, like 100,000, but think about it: 100,000 loyal fans all around the world. They'll feed you for the rest of your life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to, like, especially now in the day that everything is direct to customer or direct to consumer. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to, there's no middleman no more. And you don't lose all your money, like, going that way and all that shit.
You have to invest too much the other way. Like, all of this spending money on sponsored ads or, like, yo, back in the day, it's like, yo, motherfuckers used to trap just to pay fucking PRs to put them on different websites and shit, just to get your shit on a few blogs. Like, that was, you know what I'm saying? That was a whole, motherfuckers was getting got.
That was a racket. That was a racket. Yeah.
So, you know, like, I mean, shit. To be able to save that money, invest it in yourself, get on these fucking platforms and start talking. You know, you got Clubhouse, you got Twitter Spaces and shit where, like, a lot of these artists are building a following through engaging in different social circles and shit, and creating a new audience for themselves.
And connecting directly is so new to fans that it makes it special. Yeah. Like, that fan that you connect with will be your fan for life.
That's what I mean.
Well, like, that concept is new to artists too, and that's why a lot of them aren't good at it. You know what I'm saying? Because the
it's
idea
weird
of
because
the allure
normally
is so
artists
hard.
are secluded.
So, like, the idea of, like, being out there, active, and like really
Accessible.
engaging and shit. Yeah, like, but like, yo, a lot of these niggas do it. Like, I've been in rooms listening to Royce the 5'9" talk. Like, Mace came to Clubhouse. He had like a whole thing. He runs like a fucking sermon and shit.
Okay.
When
It's
Little
got to
C's-
depend on the artist too, because a fake artist will expose themselves.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh,
so
yeah.
it has to
It's-
be a genuine
it has
artist.
to, and that's the dope shit about it. That like when you spend enough time with these people, like they fucking know you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's
know what I'm saying?
organic.
Not only that, you get to see who they
Definitely.
really are at that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's like I was talking with him about that being good measures for promoting the project and being able to connect with a new audience
Exactly.
that that generally is left out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the people are hungry for that connection.
absolutely.
Will the next project continue in the series? Will it be 1.5? Like, is that the plan?
I feel
Well,
like we
We made a joke about 1.5 where it was like we were just gonna put out one with a couple of extra songs on it.
Like a deluxe?
Yeah, like a deluxe.
Yeah,
You know
okay.
what I'm saying? So that would be like 1.5, and then we were we're gonna do that shit.
because I feel like if we make, other than putting out like a deluxe or anything like that, making new bodies of work, I feel like it would do it a disservice to call it a 2 or a
Right.
3.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the reason why it's called 1 is the collaboration. Joe Carter 1. Like, 1 got beats, you know? He not 2. That's not 3.
exactly.
Right,
So
right.
for us to follow that, it'll just kind of be like, okay, we get what you did, but you didn't
Yeah.
have to. Like, I think we more creative.
It wouldn't be.
than that.
You'd have to get a
it wouldn't be
producer name,
1, 2,
too.
3.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think we more creative than that, you know?
Good, good.
Yo,
I'm
we
not
be
a
second for
super
one.
fan of that, like the Carter series and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yo, you know who kills me? I was like, God, that means you have not a creative bone in your body. The mac and cheese series.
French
French Montana, you had
Oh
the
my
mac and
God.
cheese 1, 2, and 3. I was like,
yeah.
come on,
Twitter
fam.
said today French toast is better than French Montana.
I would agree. I agree with
That's,
French slap, man. French toast is it.
French toast is pretty good.
French toast pretty lit.
with
yo.
the powdered sugar.
Hell
Big
yeah.
fan.
Oh man.
You know
So,
what I'm
That's clutch.
speaking of Web3, brother One, talk to me about the skulls.
Yeah, man. So the skulls was something that I started doing in 2019. Oh, no, wait, no, 2020. So like 2020, I started fucking with the iPad and the digital art, and at the same time, so I was putting some money to the side in crypto for a while, especially Ethereum. So when I was watching that shit go up, and I'm like, sheesh, like, this shit was rocking, and I mean, at the time. So and then a lot of people that not a lot of people, there were 2 people in particular that reached out to me that was like, yo, you should start putting some of this digital art that you're doing on the blockchain. And I didn't know what the fuck that meant. So I'm like, all right. Well, let's dive down that rabbit hole. And then Angel he hit me up and he was like, yo, you gotta start looking into NFTs. I'm like, the fuck is an NFT? I'm like, all right, so let me dive down the rabbit hole. And I started doing the research, and months, I'm fucking learning about this shit. And I'm just like, all right, like, how the fuck am I gonna do this? Like, I don't know anybody who's gonna buy a fucking NFT.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody even know. I just found out what these shits are a couple of months ago. How am I gonna convince people to buy this shit?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So, I got on Clubhouse in like 2020 when the lockdown hit. I got on early, so there was a lot of like finance rooms and shit. I was paying attention to like what niggas were talking about as far as like investing money and shit.
Where to put your money?
Stocks, crypto, shit like that. So I would be in, just listening and just getting a lot of information and shit. I would throw a little money here, throw a little money there, make a couple plays, and I'm like, all right, these motherfuckers know what they're talking about.
It works.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, and I would just, go in those rooms, and then based off of the people that you follow, they other rooms will start to appear. So what happened was I started to see rooms about NFTs.
Right.
So I would jump into the NFT rooms and shit. And it was just like, it was weird because it's like such a niche culture.
Yeah.
And some of these projects are like with the Bored Apes. Like the first time I fell into a Bored Ape room was like right before right when they minted.
Yeah.
And everything was hitting secondary. And like these motherfuckers would like be in the room like making monkey noises and shit. I'm like, This shit is weird. All right. Like, what? Okay, like I'm leaving. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not with this.
You know,
I'm leaving.
Little did you know.
that yeah, bro. Little did I like yeah. So fast forward, you know, I started learning about NFTs. I fell into like a couple of rooms where I found like my people. You know what I'm saying? Like people that were like kind of like New York energy, like these motherfuckers were hip hop, but they knew about their NFT shit. And I'm like, all right, these are people I could learn from because, you know, I knew this dude's selling music NFTs and shit. And he like runs rooms and he got a community. And then there's another dude that runs another community. So it's like, you know, my man Kane Mayfield, my man Low Sleazy, them niggas, they're hip hop. There's like, you know what I'm saying? Like not like 90s hip hop culture. They understand the shit and they know they Web3 shit. They know they crypto shit. And these motherfuckers like, you know, I would just pop up in their rooms like daily, weekly, just listen, soak up game and shit. And then after a while, I started asking questions, you know, because I'm like, all right, well, look, I got this little project out. I dropped this shit in like October 2021 on Halloween. And it was bugged out because the first day I dropped, this dude that heard me talking about NFTs and shit came and he bought 16 of them shit off the rip.
Wow.
So I was like, yeah. So I was like, oh shit. Like, this was like day one. But I, so I'm like,
you got gas.
I was like, yo, I thought it was gonna be lit. I thought everything was. So then what ended up happening was like, a few people I knew like that were in the crypto space, they supported, they copped some, and then it got quiet for like months.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it was
But
like
not
the
because
market.
of you, everything got
Well,
quiet.
the market got weird and shit.
Yeah.
And then
The market is still fucking weird.
and so what ended up happening was this nigga Kane called me and he was like, yo, what are you doing? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yo, like what's your project? Like you got good volume trade, like meaning sales. So I was like, you know, like I'm just trying to fucking figure this shit out. And he was like, yo, and he started giving me game. He was like, yo, you know, you got to go to these spaces. You got to start connecting with people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a personality. Like, talk to people about the shit that you know. Be genuine. And, like, you're going to be good. And I was like, all right, fuck it. You know, and started going and attending these different spaces on Twitter.
Right.
And it's like, yo, I look like a crazy person in the house. My wife's looking at me and I'm like AirPods walking back and forth talking shit to people on Twitter. It's like, yo, this is fucking, and she's like, yo, like, you don't get tired of talking to these fucking people? I'm like, yo. But you know, like once the sales volume started coming in and shit, and then people were like, yo, you know, you're hitting tiers and you're doing this shit by yourself. Like that shit is a little impressive. So you know, I've just been sticking to it. You know, like I'm big on the tech, like the idea of putting digital art on a blockchain where like you can prove ownership.
Yeah.
Like, that shit is genius.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I believed in the tech. There's a lot of like weird shit that happens in like NFT space and culture that I don't necessarily agree with. But like
It's its
that
own
shit
world,
happens.
right? It's its own little.
It is, man. It's really a
like you
core
said, a
group
niche
of
group.
niche people, but like you'll always find people that like can connect and resonate with you.
Right. Plus, it's also super unregulated, right?
I mean, yeah.
There's no
Different parts
regulation.
of it.
And like rules to it, right?
Yeah.
So wow,
That's
Can
what I
you
mean.
now take the project and drop it as a
As an NFT,
as a sellable NFT? in a way?
that's actually one of the talks with 1.5. So since one is on DSPs, 1.5 we could drop as an NFT where we can put the project on Emanate. People will see the songs, but you
Exactly.
won't be able to play them unless you own the NFT in your
Right.
wallet. Because like it's called token gating, where basically it's like that token, that NFT unlocks your access to those songs on that platform.
So they don't necessarily own they
Bludshot.
don't own the album. They don't purchase the album. They purchase the NFT that allows them
that
access
allows
to
them
the
access
album.
to it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I have a question now, right? So do all NFTs work like that, or is that his own thing?
NFTs
like
work
if
the way you want it to. Like if you want to sell if you want to sell the song, you can sell the song like a single.
But then
And
can
people-
you
No,
sell
no,
it
but-
multiple times?
But that's
absolutely.
but that's what I'm
'Cause they're
trying
called
to.
editions.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you can sell editions.
Because if this was an NFT, right, and I sold it to you,
Right.
would I be able to sell it to him? Or
That's my question as well.
because
if you have multiple, see, like, all right, so here's how it works, right? There's the primary market, then there's the secondary market, meaning you're the primary seller. If you put 100 Joe Carter One albums out and then they sell out, you no longer have access to them anymore. The 100 that are out are in circulation.
Okay.
Now, once people choose to either hold it or sell it, once it gets sold on the once you sell it, it's basically being sold on the secondary market.
Right.
So that's the whole logic behind that. Like, if you can put it out as a one of one, and then it will be more rare.
Right.
So you might want to, add something else to it.
So
and
it's
that's like the Wu-Tang
finesse
album.
it out.
Right.
So it's very
Exactly.
similar to like
Yes.
so it's very similar to like art having art. Like I create a piece of art on canvas, right?
Yes.
And I have the original, but then I also create prints.
Right.
Those are editions.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you would be selling the prints
prints.
would be NFTs.
Right.
The prints would be editions of an original
Yeah.
piece.
The,
So
the,
like now-
the original painting would
Yeah,
be
that's the more
See,
valuable
But
one.
here's the difference with the prints and the NFTs.
Okay.
All right, that the NFTs will prove ownership, where like the print, if he swipes your print,
Yeah.
you know
You
what I'm
can't
saying?
really do shit.
You
Yeah,
can't do nothing
exactly.
about
Okay.
it. Whereas like your print is secured, the digital data is locked on the blockchain and it's public. Everybody can see how this shit moves around.
Okay.
So there's no finessing. You can't say, "Oh, well, I paid $500 for this,"
Yeah.
and when you paid $100 and
Exactly.
you banging somebody in the head, they know
Right.
what you paid for it.
Exactly.
You
They
know
can
what I'm
look
saying?
into that
So they
data.
can choose if they feel like it's worth that $500 and
Yeah,
up.
exactly,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But it's based on the demand.
Have you attempted to profit off your knowledge of this field?
Nah. It's because the way I got the information is we don't do that.
Have people attempted to do that?
Have people attempted to do that with me?
No, not with
In
you.
general.
But in that
Absolutely.
field.
Yeah. Yeah.
of course.
They are
Like
definitely
charged to
Yeah.
learn about NFTs
and it's
how it works.
it's shitty because once you get here and you find out that like people are just doing this shit for free, it's called
Yeah.
onboarding. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So it's like if you guys wanted to learn about like crypto, NFTs and shit,
Yeah.
like me charging you is against the culture. You're gonna
Yeah.
find because eventually you're gonna meet people and they're gonna be like, "Oh, how'd you get started?" But like, yeah, my friend charged me $100 for a fucking,
Yeah.
for an introduction to crypto class,
But-
and then they're gonna be like, "Yeah, your friend's a dick."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
But there's always those vultures that's
Yeah.
gonna do
oh
that. you know?
yeah, well, at this point we call it charging people for directions to the bathroom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shout
Everybody
out to my
gotta
man
use the
Kane.
bathroom.
That's what Kane calls it. You know what I'm saying? So
That's
and,
funny.
And,
It's
and
funny.
that's essentially like how we look at it, where it's like
Yeah.
it's against code.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't do that shit. It's like bootlegging. You don't
Right.
do that shit.
Exactly.
Artists got to eat. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, so when you charging people for onboarding, it's like you're responsible for them.
Yeah.
And if you don't teach them the right way and then they fuck up and they do something, they looking at you like you crazy.
Not only that,
Or
right?
they leave the space with a bad taste in their mouth. And then you
Right.
get the people that say, oh, NFTs are a scam.
That-
Well, yeah, because you trusted some dickhead that charged you to
Yeah.
fucking get in here. You know what I'm saying? He probably set up your wallet
Right.
and knows your passwords. So when you're loading your money, he's fucking emptying it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or
Like,
even worse, like let's say you get taught that shit and then you just continue the trend and you teach somebody else.
And
know what
that's
I'm
where you
saying?
make
And it
your
just
money.
keeps going,
You
you know
don't
what I mean?
even
So, like-
Yeah.
you don't even utilize it.
I've-
You just
I've
utilize your
had several
information.
conversations with people where
Yeah.
they've tried to like tell me that I should like be charging people
Right,
for the
right,
shit
right.
that I know. And I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's just bad karma,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And you want to keep your integrity at the end of the day.
Bro, if the people that brought me in heard any like of me doing anything like that,
Yeah.
they would like stop fucking with me. And
Yeah.
people that fuck with me
Yeah.
would stop fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like that shit is that frowned upon.
Right.
Unless I do something like fucking phenomenal that would outweigh that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
'Cause
Something
that shit is-
groundbreaking and
Yeah.
changing like
Yeah.
the field and
It's like sneak thief. You know what I'm saying?
That's
If
good
somebody
to
sneak
know.
thief, they got to do something really good to
Yeah.
fucking make them lose the fucking that stain of being a sneak thief.
Exactly,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Is there a way for you to create an NFT that continues to pay you royalties once it keeps getting sold forward, like onward?
Some of the with music, yeah, it's still the same way. Like the way that it depends on how you set up the smart contracts. So the smart contracts are just
Okay.
a digital code that like that dictates how people interact with this NFT. So,
Okay.
like, you can set it up where that NFT will unlock certain access to digital data, you know what I'm saying? Like extra songs or like
Or the
give you
video.
access to websites that are locked, you know, shit like that. As far as the royalties, it depends on the contract, how it's written, and or which platform it's on. So like some of these platforms allow royalties and some of them don't.
Yeah.
So like the big thing lately was like OpenSea, which is one of the biggest NFT marketplaces. They just recently said that they were gonna stop paying out creator royalties. So now like artists don't so artists aren't getting royalties anymore, like on their secondary sales.
Yeah.
So but you know, like there's like I have two sides on that. Like so for someone like me, it doesn't matter. Like that doesn't affect me because the people that tend to buy my shit aren't buying it to like resell it for more money.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They're buying it because they fuck with me and they like what I'm doing.
And they
you
hold
know,
on
like,
to it. They're
and they
gonna
hold
hold
on to it. Yeah. So like for someone like me, like that whole royalty thing isn't really like as big of a kick in the balls that it is to other people.
Right.
You know, because they engage in like trading and flipping. You know, and that trading and flipping game is weird because what ends up happening is that a lot of people end up fucking. Those are what you call like the rug pulls. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like some of these projects, people will come and spend $200, $300, $400, $500, you know, on some of these pictures or PFPs or whatever. You know, only for the value to go out once you know all of the people that whaled into the project, you know, use the lower people as like exit liquidity.
Basically, yeah.
So it's like, you know, if you don't know what you're getting into, you're going to lose money trying to buy and flip NFTs.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Some
Yeah, it
people get
doesn't work
lucky,
like- yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like with people that bought apes and shit. They didn't know what the fuck those apes were going to do.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what those apes were going to do.
Yeah. But again, it also depended on the demand. That's what made it what it was.
That's the hype behind it
Right.
was the people that were behind it. You know what I'm saying?
And the people buying it.
And the people buying it, the initial ones,
After a while.
like a lot of them shits were given away for free.
Yeah.
Like the first ones were like, you know what I'm saying? They were giving
No,
these
but
shits
once
away
they got
to
hot and
celebrities
Eminem started
shit.
buying
Yeah,
it.
well, a
and
lot of
Justin
celebrities,
Bieber.
all them people that like, a lot of people got sent apes by MoonPay, which is the company that like, you know, was doing some
Issuing
of the
them?
marketing. Well, they were doing something with Yuga Labs, which is the company that made the Bored Apes. So you know, they like part of their marketing strategy was giving away NFTs, so that way celebrities would change the profile pictures on Twitter and then incentivize new people to buy in because it's like, oh shit, well, you know, if I could be on the same Discord server as Steph Curry, you know, I'll buy one, you know, because
Exactly.
they felt like it granted you accessibility. You know what I'm saying? And like, how better a way to kind of like rub digital shoulders with like the upper echelon of people than dropping some bread and buying a fucking ape.
Yep.
Interesting
It
how
fucking works.
it's digital, but its core is human-based acceptance. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's the idea of decentralization. Like that's I
Yeah.
think that's the big thing about NFTs, that everything is public. You can't finesse nobody. You know what I'm saying? Now there's numbers, and now, you know, you're starting to see that there are ways that these numbers can be manipulated.
As with anything.
Yeah.
Because-
Somebody always figure out a way around
Well,
shit.
you can, but then the thing is like this: like for the people that pay attention, you know, and can know how to like digital track this information because it's all public. You know, you can see like this shit called wash trading, where like some of these NFT projects will have like multiple wallets, kind of like streaming farms.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh,
So
okay.
how you have streaming farms now is like the idea of like wallet farms, where
Right,
people
right.
just have enough money to buy one of these things, keep it in a wallet, and then resell it at a higher price to pump the floor price.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, at this point, you got to pay attention to the numbers and the information. And that's why people like the idea of decentralization, where it's like now, if all of this information is public, if we dig long enough, we could find it.
Right.
Whereas like when information is centralized, you know, you can't, nobody ain't
Exactly.
trying to hear nothing.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can't
or-
go to
or
JP
they'll-
Morgan
Exactly.
Bank
Yeah,
and
you
ask
can't
them to see
tell.
their numbers.
Or they'll block you straight up and down. They'll be like, nah, get out of here,
go.
fam. Yeah.
They only give you
Yeah,
what they want you to know.
No, yeah, exactly.
Where the idea of decentralization really fucks people's heads up, because if you're trying to control information, then you know you really don't want the idea of something like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's historical, right? Like that's since the beginning of time, people trying to hold or hoard information.
Yeah.
Real quick, to get back to Joe Carter for just a second. How much of your medical trials and tribulations are you documenting?
What, like in the music?
In
Just period.
in any form of content,
Visual, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, moving forward a lot more.
Okay.
But
When they
that's
had the
hope.
thing in your neck and the video camera,
I
like, you
didn't-
didn't record none of that?
No.
Damn.
Yo, he was on the table. He was
That's what I'm
putting-
saying.
awake,
Like,
yeah.
all right, so look. So look, right?
But people would fuck with that.
No,
Yeah, but the thing
guys,
is,
it's
so,
hard to record yourself.
Yeah, and it's one
Yeah,
of
no,
those.
it's the OR.
Because
It's
some
the
of
OR.
the,
You're not
some of the
allowed to.
hospitals, it's
Yeah,
like, it's HIPAA violations
and bro,
and
like,
shit.
how do
So-
I avoid being like the that nigga? You understand what I'm saying? Where it's just like, you doing that, bro?
But
No,
nah, I
yeah,
wouldn't
but
say. I
it's-
wouldn't say. I mean, I don't think he means document it in the sense of expose it, but necessarily
No,
just
no,
to
no,
just
no,
have it.
no.
Yeah, like-
That's what I'm.
Yeah, not to exploit it.
I understand where you coming from. Period. Just to document in it, just to have it, just to, But that's
Yeah,
what you
don't
afraid
exploit it.
of. Yeah,
Yeah, don't
you just.
exploit it.
Yeah, you just.
There's a difference.
I don't want it to be something where I don't think that none of this came from a place of sympathy.
Right.
I think that is one of those things where it's just documenting a journey. So I feel like as long as it stays relevant to, hey, this is the day in the life.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're not out there with the camera like, hey, y'all, check this shit out.
You
You
feel
know
me?
what I'm saying?
Or like the people that's like,
Or the
I
feel
just
sorry
got
for me
I
shit.
just got shot, and it's
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
son,
Yeah.
I got
Right.
shot.
You
Call
traumatized.
They can't kill
911.
me.
Yeah.
They can't kill me.
Yeah, you
I'm
feel me?
still here.
Yeah. So I've always been the one to go through the stuff
Yeah.
and then start just being like, so. But as far as day in the lives, yes, because now I'm like, if he ain't doing nothing, one pull up, because now we headed to the examination. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Especially like I said, now that I'm on in diagnostic mode, we trying to figure out what's going on. I feel like this is the time. Versus when you getting treated, aside from medication, when surgeries start coming and stuff like that, that's the stuff where I'ma just be so, anesthesia. I'm gonna be so out of it.
you
It's
can't
one
do
of
that
the
there. But I think of it more so as a you're not the only person that goes to the hospital. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You're not
Yeah.
the only person that's had heart issues or blood
Yeah.
issues or whatever the case may be. And people connect to the human side of artists.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
So I think it would bond you with fans who've gone through something similar.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'm
I agree.
a lot better with all of this. And like I said, is I'm not gonna say people like, but it's him, my boy, Ryan, couple of other people. Without them, I would never, because for me, it's I guess I would just say it as a man ego, but I feel like it might not have
Right.
been that. And I don't even want to say pride. I just think that when you used to being one of those that just roll your sleeves up and you just like, all right, you get cut real quick, all right, cool, let me wrap something around. The cut ain't knocking us out the whole day.
Right.
We gonna find some type of quick solution, stop the bleeding, whatever. Let's get back to whatever's going on. We'll feel the pain tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I'm so used to being that guy that even now going through this, I gotta remember to complain about things. Where it's like, bro, it's okay to not be okay. And I'm like, yeah, but I need to be okay for me. So it's just always been hard to just admit certain stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, all of this is just,
But you got to feel the pain.
yeah.
You got to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
It'll help with the recovery and shit.
Yeah.
Real quick, back to the brother One Got Beats. Talk to me about the West Coast trip.
Yo, it was dope, man.
It was a birthday trip?
It was a birthday trip.
Yeah, so it was just no business, just explore
Just
and
exploring,
enjoy
man,
with,
like-
with your lady, right?
Yeah, I
no
won't-
Where
kids?
exactly did you go?
All right, so
Wait, before you, no kids?
no kids.
Now you know the story is gonna be
Yeah,
lit.
better stories.
Yeah, so I was staying in Vegas.
Peyote.
So we
Okay.
we booked the
We love peyote over here.
This guy, bunch of drug addicts.
Peyote and ego death.
my wife, but she would have let me. She would have let me.
DMT, DMT.
Oh.
No disrespect, boo.
Nah, so We stayed at the Luxor in Vegas on the Strip.
Nice.
Nice.
And we spent a lot of the time on the road and just traveling. Like, we kind of used Vegas as like a rest stop between Arizona and Cali.
Nice.
So
Wow.
yeah, so we landed in Vegas Wednesday night. I think. I forget. I'm bad with anyway. We got there the first day. We did the Strip. I had a dispensary, got some bud. So, did the whole fucking Vegas Strip.
Yeah.
That shit was one day.
Yeah.
Anything longer than one day, Vegas Strip is like. I mean, I don't gamble.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Neither. Yeah,
so like, I wasn't like really pressed for like that shit. So the first day we got there, we went to the rental. We hit the fucking tallest peak in Vegas. They got this space.
Oh,
like,
the Stratosphere.
The Stratosphere. Yeah, we went to the Strat. Yeah. So
Right.
that was crazy. We went there, and then it was like, this ticket is good the whole day.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, even
you can
better.
come back.
We chilled. We went, had a couple of drinks. We chilled up there, went to the top, and then I got some family out there, so we met up with my family, had some drinks with them, chilled, ate, went back to the Strat at night.
It's different at night.
Yeah, it's so different at night. You see so much from up there, so it was crazy. We did that. Then the next day we drove out to Death Valley. That's in Cali.
Yeah.
So we did like that whole desert. Like that shit was crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, bro. We was out there just walking through the desert, yo,
crazy,
just
yo. That's
chilling.
dope,
like,
yo.
yeah,
That's
it
dope.
was a real dope vibe. We did that. Then we went to Red Rocks.
Right.
Red Rock Canyon, back by Nevada, which was like 40 minutes from the hotel that we were staying at.
Nice.
So we did that. Yo, like the stars out there, bro.
Oh, it's different.
Yo, like you don't see
the desert night is different,
bro. It was. I've been in New York and New Jersey my whole life.
And then
The
we deal with
closest
like
to-
with smog and stuff, so we
Yeah.
can't even really
bro.
see.
But-
Over there is clear.
But
clear
yo,
sky.
what? Like yo, we were seeing planets.
Yeah.
Like I was laying down on the side, like I was laying down on the ground, just looking up. My wife's like, "Yo, you're really laying on the floor." I'm like, "Yo,
hell yeah.
I've never seen stars
Right,
like this."
right.
Yo, this shit-
That's amazing.
yeah,
That shit
so-
makes you realize we're small, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely,
You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying?
Very much.
Bro,
In
even
this
even
universe, we are small.
Yeah.
the next day we drove to Cali, and like you said, driving through those mountains
Yeah.
and all of that, like yo, it's so different. The landscape out there, like I felt tiny.
Yeah.
So I drove from Oklahoma to Cali
Okay.
and back, and we went through New Mexico and a couple of those states or whatever. I don't remember, but we went through all that shit, bro. And yo, it's fucking dope, bro. Like it's beautiful to see that side of America, I guess.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, it's our country.
Because we don't see that on this side.
We don't.
The comparative difference.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Even the energy, like the people out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot nicer, calmer. Except for like the homeless shit is weird. Like we was in Hollywood.
It was
like,
still
Well, no. Once you get to Cali, it's
once you
New
get to
York
Cali,
again.
yeah, it's New York.
It's just with a different accent. and shit.
Yeah.
But when you're in those desert states and
Yeah.
some roads
What
and
is that?
the
That's
cliffs
like, what is
and
that?
shit.
Midwest? What is it?
No,
Yeah, it's
that's
the West
not the
Coast.
West.
It's the West Coast.
It is the
No,
West Coast.
It's
the
West
West
Coast.
Coast.
Yeah.
Nevada and shit is the West, yeah.
Nevada.
that's all west.
So Nevada to Cali was dope. Then when we was out in Cali,
You hit the Grand Canyon? Where's the
Grand Canyon was in Arizona. That was on my
Right.
birthday. So actually,
Arizona.
fast forward, we were driving to the Grand Canyon, and a fucking truck, like half a mile in front of us, caught fire.
Oh yeah.
And
You
this
had,
shit was-
got stuck in the traffic
Yeah, and we got
joint.
stuck in the traffic, and I was dead sitting there, like we was parked for like an hour and a half.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
just-
right.
And I looked at my girl. I was like, "Yo, listen, we don't have to do this, yo."
Yeah.
She's like, "No, but it's your birthday. We have to go to the Grand Canyon. That was the plan." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yo, listen, like."
It's not that big.
We've been here for like an hour and
Yeah,
40
it's not
now.
that serious.
Like that shit is just burning. There's no fire truck.
But what
here
was
yet.
the
Like,
option? Like a U-turn? Could you bust a U-turn?
well, I saw a couple people do it, and she didn't
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah.
But I'm like, nigga, we in a rental. Like,
Yeah.
fucking, what you gonna do?
Right,
Handing this
right,
shit-
look.
I wouldn't have done it with my
Anything
car,
goes.
but like,
Shit.
you know, like at that point, so she was like, yo, fuck it, let's do it. So then we stopped. We did like the Hoover Dam because we had already passed. We was in Arizona, like you know.
Exactly.
So we did like that. There was a little peak that I see, and then like I'm a little trespasser and climber. I like to do shit like that. She hates it when we go out because she's like, oh, you're gonna go and do some dumb shit. Like, but Yeah.
I
Dumb
think
shit
you
be the
wilding
fun
in Puerto
shit.
Rico. You was wilding in PR going into like empty fucking buildings and
I
shit.
did that
was
shit
like,
in Puerto
yo,
Rico too.
wildin'.
I went into an abandoned.
Yeah.
I went into an abandoned school when I was in Puerto Rico when my grandfather
See,
died.
but that make for amazing content,
Yeah.
bro.
I documented
Yeah.
a lot of that shit. This was on my IG stories.
And memories
Like,
too.
yeah.
Like,
hell yeah.
I just mentioned it. I remember it stuck out in my brain. And
Yeah,
shit.
he remembers. Yeah, that shit was crazy.
is content just dope memories?
It's dope
It
documented.
depends on what you
memories.
do with it. Like,
Yeah,
for
that's
me,
true.
Like, I don't post a lot of this shit like on on YouTube or like where it lasts. Like, I'll post
Yeah.
shit to my stories like almost
Where it
daily,
goes away.
but it goes away.
Yeah.
Like, you're not just gonna sit there and watch my life over and over.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
I don't mind giving people a window, but it's a window.
Yeah, a glimpse
You know what I'm
real
saying?
quick,
These
yeah. Yeah, but-
motherfuckers open the side of the house and let
Yeah,
niggas watch.
trying to live
move
inside.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say. It depends on what the content is. But I feel like it's all fair game because shows, you know, that we have now where you seeing people go on, you know, ghost adventures and stuff like that. So we kind of do hope that you go into that building. You know, we see the store. Look, remember the studio?
Oh yeah,
It's just,
the spot, the other side of the building. That shit is
Yeah.
all condemned and
It's
fucked
all
up.
vacant.
The building where I'm renting,
Uh-huh.
the studio.
Oh, over there.
Oh,
yeah,
where the
yeah,
Brooklyn
yeah.
Blue is?
Yeah, so I did
on
a-
the other side of that building. That shit is all broken
I
down.
did a couple of
abandoned. That shit
reels.
looks
Yeah.
crazy. In
We
there.
went
Yeah.
through the
Really?
whole. Yo, man, we was looking at
That's a
stuff.
big ass building too.
It's,
Man.
it's a World War II era building.
My
Dope
mother used
shit
to
in
work
there.
in
Yeah.
in a factory in there.
That shit
There used
is
to be a factory in there.
a lot of that shit is condemned now.
It's still
Yeah.
good to
Yeah.
explore, yo.
But
that's,
I think
that's like a young.
I think that shows. You know what I'm saying? It got us to the point where we like, yo, nah, go in there.
I found a ghost town in Cali.
Yeah?
I climbed some fence. Like,
Really?
we were driving. We drove past it.
Where'd you go in Cali?
That valley. When I was in
You
Cali,
ended up at Venice, right?
I did. I started in
Venice
Venice. My uncle lives in LA, so we went to check with him. We drove over to Venice Beach. We had some oysters
Nice.
and fucking seafood,
Nice.
drinks. You know, did that. Then after he dipped, we went to a dispensary. Out in Venice, got some shit. Went to Santa Monica. Then we went to Hollywood. Then we went to, I think it was
That's a fire
San
tour.
Gabriel.
Mm.
We got a hotel there. Spent the night there.
Yeah.
Woke up, hit Roscoe's, you know what I'm saying? Did
Nice.
like the Cali shit, you know what I'm saying? Went by Randy's Donuts and shit. You know, just did
Nice,
No.
Tourist shit.
yeah, tourist shit. We went to the Walk of Fame and shit, got chased by some homeless people and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Skid Row.
yo,
That shit scary at night, bro.
yo, it went from Hollywood stars to like fucking Walking Dead real quick.
Hollywood
nigga.
shit. This is shit.
Like I said, Walking
Hollywood is
Dead.
dark.
Yo, it was crazy for a minute.
Skid
you know?
Row, baby.
But you know, it's funny, right? Like my wife's looking at it and she's like, "Yo, I can't believe that this is like what it actually is versus what I thought it was."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yo, like this is what do you think happens when people come to New York? When we
Yeah.
walk by Times Square, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, this is it!" Like,
Yeah.
because in their heads they make it so much bigger, and it's like we see this shit every day. So we
Yeah,
look at it
yeah,
like,
yeah, whatever.
you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So they're either like taken back and overwhelmed by it, or they're just like blah. Like
Yeah.
to
Or
me,
you're
the Vegas
underwhelmed by
Strip
it.
was like blah.
Yeah.
Like you lose the allure when Walgreens has a giant strip club sign.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's
yeah.
fucking Walgreens,
It's
bro. Like,
Walgreens,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yo, but I think Cali is so dope. Like, it changes your perspective. Like, you come back different, in my opinion.
oh,
You don't come
absolutely.
back the same because you see so many things, you know?
I really it made me want to travel more, like
Yeah.
outside of
Get out.
Yeah, like not just Miami and
Yeah,
Atlanta
yeah, yeah.
and Texas.
The
like I've
regular
done that.
shit, yeah.
But like, yo, like at this point, I'm kind of like looking up where can I see the best fucking stargazing.
Go to Wyoming where
Oh,
Kanye was
Alaska.
at.
Yeah.
Like, well, you
The
know,
Northern
Alaska's
Lights shit,
crazy,
right?
Northern
yeah,
Lights,
but I
yeah.
definitely want to see the
I-
Northern
Oh,
Lights.
shit.
For real.
The Borealis?
The Borealis, yeah.
Yeah, that should be fire right there.
Go to Wyoming where Kanye was at.
That shit is crazy too.
Yeah.
There's a spot in Virginia. They say that it's like Virginia is like the closest spot here for like the best stargazing.
Yeah, because
So I'm like,
Really?
See,
Virginia's like a 5-hour drive. We could do that and
Exactly,
spend the
yeah,
night, like you know what I'm saying, catch some stars all night.
it's crazy because like I was telling my daughter because she lives out in Virginia, and she was like, "Why is it that we can see the stars so much better at night in VA than we can like when we were in Jersey and New York?" I'm like, "Well, you gotta understand where we live is way more a higher concentration of people, and so we emit more light. You know what I'm saying? So you can't see it because we're emitting the light itself.
Yeah, blocks
out there, you're in the
It's
darkness.
country,
It's dark out there. Like there's
Yo,
a
those
new
roads, those desert roads at night.
At night,
Yo, fam,
what?
you can't see right in front of
What?
you.
Yo, listen, we pulled.
and then if
yo,
you smoking some of that Cali bud, yo, I won't even front. I hallucinated on the roads.
Yeah.
yo, listen,
That's my word.
yo, I had a fucking anxiety attack smoking
Yeah.
that Cali shit.
Hell
Yo,
yeah.
yo, let me tell
yeah.
you, yo, dead ass. The shit, I got some shit called King Roll, yo. I swear to God, this shit is 48% THC. Look at his face, 48% THC. This shit has concentrate in the bud and it's wrapped in
It's like a
keef.
moon rock.
Pass that
It's a
shit.
moon rock.
Oh,
Yo,
yeah.
shit's half a gram. I smoked 2/3 of it.
Yeah.
And like
crazy.
like, yo, I swear to God, I looked at my wife. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna fucking die out here. Yo, I'm fucking die out here. I'm like, yo,
You start seeing wolves and shit.
yo, I swear to God, I was like, yo, I don't know what's wrong with me. She's like, what do you want me to do? I'm like, just keep driving. Just keep driving.
Don't stop.
Your life becomes an episode of Black Mirror and shit.
What?
Shout out to that though, man. Shout out to the West Coast. I always shout out my brother Mike Macon out there on the West Coast, my homegirl Madi on the West Coast, and my brother Michael Evan Lee on the West Coast. I definitely gotta go visit out there, go back out there. Shout out to all the dispensaries. Shout out to all the brothers and sisters that work in dispensaries and be the weed professors. And you tell them, my left ankle hurts, and they be like, oh, I got the weed for that.
We got some for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got the
and,
perfect weed for that. And
yeah.
they hit you with the shit, and
I
your
got
shit
the
will be
ivory.
healed. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish this guy would have told me that I was gonna fucking have a heart attack in the car. This motherfucker, yo, and then I tell, yo,
This
yo,
guy.
That's part of the fun.
I'm looking at this guy. He's like, yeah, you should try these too. I'm like, all right, I bought 2 packs. Yo, bro, I left all that shit out there. I'm not smoking this shit again.
Oh,
This nigga's
boom,
trying to
man.
kill me.
Bring that shit.
Ah.
Get retarded right now.
What? You fucking crazy? This nigga trying to kill me.
Be
What
under the
can we
table.
what can we expect next from you brothers? Is there a new joint project on the docket? Is 1.5 the deluxe?
1.5 would probably be the next thing, which would probably be like just a couple of joints added to what we already have, and then we're gonna move forward with just like
Something
whatever's
new,
next on the whatever's next on the plate. You know, like I don't like to kind of like make predictions,
Right.
you know, because shit happens.
But you will drop a new one.
Yeah.
A new series, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, me and Carter we're gonna keep working.
And now you said the mindset is different, so it's no more sitting on music and
Everything's
Put that
put
coming
it
shit
out.
out,
Yeah.
put the
Yeah.
content out, work it.
Yeah, I can't wait to get current with my own catalog
right.
because I got old stuff that I want to put out.
And I saw you got some videos out now, or were they older videos?
No, that was it depends on what you've seen because you might have seen videos from the
think-
event.
No, I saw that, but I thought you had a video for what's the first song on the album?
Hell of a show.
Hell of a show. Did I see a video for that or a promo or something for that?
You probably
On your
seen a
gram?
They did a
promo.
promo,
Promo,
for
right?
Answers.
Yeah.
Can we expect videos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I already have a thought process behind it. I'm pretty sure he does as well. I just want to get creative with everything
And interconnect everything.
yeah, especially off this project.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to see y'all work the project.
Yeah.
Being that we had it so long before it released to the masses.
Yeah, you guys got it early.
Yeah,
You
we're
got it,
we're
like-
familiar with the album.
Yeah.
So to see the direction that y'all are gonna take the content to match the album is interesting. And that's why I asked if you document a lot of your health
Yeah.
stuff.
No, that like I said, moving forward.
Yeah, I think that'll bridge
tie everything together.
Yeah.
That's the direction that I'm going because I'm seeing, like you said, there's a lot of people who go through what I'm going through, and you know, I just don't necessarily know them. So I feel like allowing myself to capture the moment fully and understanding that there's a level of bringing awareness to it, a level of responsibility maybe of being somebody my age dealing with something like this and then overcoming it. So yeah, I just feel like everything that's in play, I feel like we just kind of looking at this as a knock out the park, like a home run all the way with it because like you said, it's so much of an investment, time, energy, the story involved. I just feel like it's something that, for me, regardless of what I continue to release, it's something that I plan on promoting and performing moving forward.
So can we expect some shows soon?
Yes.
Nice. Keep us in the loop. Keep us posted so we can come out and support. If you ever need a cameo in your videos, I'm always available.
No doubt.
What else?
Professional
Definitely the new
cameo?
projects. Yeah, hell yeah. Bro.
What about the merch? I got merch.
Yeah, we have album merch. So we have the album art inspired t-shirt. And as far as that's the only thing that we have tied to the project right now. But yeah, there'll be more coming.
Good.
Alright.
Good.
I need that jersey, man.
We're gonna
I
get
need
you
that
stickers.
jersey.
We were talking about the jersey
Look,
too.
man,
Yo,
that's the thing. It's kind of like one of those things where you like, before I consult with everybody, I don't know what I could say and what I can't say.
Yeah.
I be feeling mad political on it.
But there's potential.
But
definitely
there's
potential.
more. Yeah. So it's one of
No,
those.
no.
Yeah, man. No, I'd see jerseys. I want a varsity jacket.
Yeah. Do it.
Because the way I see it is we tied it kind of to a sport theme, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, for me, it's Game 6 feel. I kind of want to just go that way. I will debut it. I want maybe within the week, but I shot a little commercial for the album merch. I kind of want to go all the way with it.
Yeah.
Definitely have some type of game vibe as far as basketball court or something.
If
visuals.
you need a basketball player cameo,
Oh,
I'm the Puerto Rican Kobe
Got you.
mixed with Bruce Lee on the court.
Heard you.
This is what people have told me, mind you.
Heard you. Yeah, so right now, man,
Nah,
we
that'll be dope, man.
Nah,
do
yeah,
our
yeah.
stretches. You know what I'm saying? We're getting home.
I'll bring the one leg up sweats back and everything.
Look. Let's scout some basketball courts and get busy.
he's
Yeah,
Kobe
man.
in the suit.
Absolutely.
On the
Listen, we're
sidelines.
gonna talk to Nike.
The
We're gonna
brother,
talk to Cool Kai.
cool
We
guy.
got
Yeah.
the colorway, man.
We're gonna bridge
Straight
that
up.
together. We're gonna be the ones to bridge them together.
Look.
and make them
The
happy
the
couple.
one project itself got a colorway already, so it's like everything is there. It's at this point in time, it's kind of markets
it would be
itself.
a disservice to not work it.
Big
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Big facts.
So we look forward to that. Absolutely.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank y'all for coming through.
Yo, thanks
As
for having
always,
us.
y'all know the doors are open. Y'all
Yeah,
come
this
through.
is
Next
family.
project, let us know.
of
We can
course.
chop it up about that. Before I let y'all brothers go, we're gonna do 10 shots with VSOP.
Yeah,
y'all
yeah.
been here before. Y'all know the deal.
Let's
So,
go.
Yes, let's go.
All right, so I have the questions that I asked you last time, so I'm just gonna switch them up real quick.
No doubt.
All right.
I would hope so.
Yeah. It'd be boring as fuck if I didn't. All right, so number 10. Would you rather be produced by Dr. Dre or The Alchemist? It's two different production styles.
The
too.
Alchemist.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I thought you would have went with Dr. Dre.
I like Dre, but it's kind of like, our sound, our feel. I just feel like Alchemist will be able to.
I agree.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, number 9. Big Daddy Kane or Rakim?
Rock him.
Okay. Number 8. Clips or, let me see, Clips or who was the other one that I had? Shit.
2-man group.
Yeah.
CNN.
Okay, Clips or CNN?
I'm going with CNN.
Ooh, actually,
I'm gonna say
I
Clips.
might have
only,
to go clips.
I'm gonna
I'ma
go
go
Clips culturally. I mean, come on, lunch tables.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
And also
Yeah.
follow-up albums.
Yeah, grind.
Clips
Yeah.
had more than one album,
Yeah.
where CNN, they had more than one album, but
Yeah.
The first two are
First two are
basically
the
it.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though the first CNN was ridiculous.
It was.
Yeah.
But it was largely carried by Nori, though.
Yeah, Nori is like, yo, when I was a kid, Nori was it, yo.
my
for
favorite
real.
rapper now.
The solo album?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I always tell these guys that my daughter, had she been born a boy, would have been named Noriega. that's how much I love her. Luckily for her, she came
Yeah,
out
luckily.
a female.
Thank God.
All right, number 7. Best era in hip-hop. 2000s, 2010s, or the current era?
2010s.
2010s.
Yeah?
Yeah, because that's like Fabulous. That's like,
G-Unit.
yeah, Lloyd
we had-
Banks.
Yeah.
And I found myself listening to a lot
Eminem.
of. I found myself listening to a lot of music from 2013 and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
That's a good
A
era
lot
right there.
lately,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
All right, so
That was a
2010s.
good era.
Yeah.
2010s were good.
2010.
No doubt,
2010
no
and
doubt.
2019, that's a good run.
All right. Better hip hop. Well, not hip hop. Better movie. How High or Half Baked?
How high?
Damn.
I gotta, I don't know. That's tough for me, man.
That's super tough for me. I would definitely be taking a shot right now.
How high or half
That's
baked,
a
man?
nice question.
Because they both funny as fuck.
I'm gonna go half baked.
Funny as fuck, but they're also both like
I'm going half
a little
baked.
bootleg in a way.
Oh, that's why I picked those
absolutely.
two. That's why I picked
like
those
corny stoner movies.
Yeah.
It's like Jay and Silent Bob and shit.
Nothing.
Nah, like I
And
would
with,
definitely.
how high? Nothing after 1.
No. I mean, just those two
No,
movies.
no,
yeah,
nothing after one exists.
Nah.
In reality,
At
nothing
all.
after one exists.
Yeah, nah. Yeah, I'm still going half baked.
Okay.
Dave Chappelle.
Is there a high too? There's no high, so fuck out of here.
They both have so many good quotables too.
Yeah.
By the beach.
By the beach.
Nigga said, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. I'm out.
All right. Number five. Drake or Kanye? Who would you rather work with?
Kanye.
All right.
Yeah, I would say yeah too.
Number 4. King's Disease 1, 2, or 3. Which one you taking?
1.
Which one?
Okay. King's Disease.
Oh,
1, 2, or 3.
Wow, you answered that quickly.
one.
Yeah, he said 1, no question.
One.
No doubt. Number 3, better Wu-Tang solo project. Liquid Swords or Return to the 36 Chambers.
Return to the 36 Chambers.
That was a good one.
Oh,
Yeah. No,
yeah.
that's it.
really?
She was dark.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah. Is Fab in your top 10? That's number 2.
Hip hop?
Yeah, all time. Is Fab in your top 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10?
I was thinking the same shit. Like if he to me he is, because I feel like he deserved to be, but Tim.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a segment of stunted growth there. Because
Yeah.
I feel like he could have been a lot bigger than maybe he held himself at. Not to say that by no means a failure or anything like that.
Right.
But I just
He
feel
could've been
like,
bigger.
yes.
Yeah.
And I
Absolutely.
feel like he didn't care to be. I think he was
He's too
okay.
cool.
He was
Yeah.
content.
Yeah,
He's
I
too
think
cool, bro.
I think he like, bruh, I'm good.
Yeah, he could have been
And
the king of New York for
Nigga.
an
Absolutely.
extended period of years.
I feel like even his pass the torch moment to me was when the money goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Come
Yeah.
on,
Jigga tried to
man.
basically hand it to him.
Right?
Yeah,
Look
he
at
really
the
did.
visual. The
He
visual,
really
they in
did.
a fucking Rolls Royce.
The Maybach.
And
Yeah.
that was
I'm
a
on the
Jigga
Maybach,
song.
yeah.
Huh?
Like Jigga.
That's what I'm saying. It was
had
Jigga's
verses
song.
on
Yeah,
that
Yeah, he
song.
did.
it was his
yeah.
song originally.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it
That
Yeah.
was that was supposed to be for American Gangster.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then
yeah.
he just ended up being with like the hook.
On the hook.
Yeah. But that was his pass the torch moment.
Yeah.
And
he
then
didn't run with it
And
properly.
the Brooklyn joint with Uncle Murder and Hove.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm
yeah.
trying to
That was
say.
when it was
I
really
think
trying to,
even the
like, usher them
catalog,
on.
his whole catalog was set up for that. Look at the type of music he was making now. Make Me Better. You know what I'm saying? The joint he had with Ryan
he had
Leslie
the
and Kerry
crossover
Hilson.
shit, yeah.
He started having stuff that would take him serious
Yeah.
to that, oh, I'm running shit now.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't so mixtapey. These were songs that were...
But he still had
And
that.
he had to
for
make
the
he
it
still
chorus.
had that.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yo, you had
Yeah.
like he had the soul tapes, which
Come
were
on.
amazing. The funeral music,
Young
still, the
OG.
funeral music saga, like
Yeah,
all that shit.
all the funeral music. There-
His favorite is the
there's no
Summertime
competition.
Shootouts.
Look,
Summertime
no,
Shootout,
look, there
yeah,
is
like
no
Fab.
competition. Those was one of my favorite mixtapes. There's no competition. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, nah, the soul tapes were classic.
But that's
Yeah.
my
He
point.
had
I just
something
feel
for
like it was
everybody.
set up
It
for
was.
him,
And
he just was like, "All right, I'm
it
good."
sucks to say, but he dropped the ball in that sense.
Yeah.
But not
I
to
would
say that
agree.
he failed because he had a great
No,
career.
no,
People
that's what I'm saying.
would kill for his
Yeah.
career.
Oh,
hell yeah.
But
I-
he could
I
have
feel
taken it
that-
up.
But the potential was there to be
The King of New York.
Yeah, hell yeah,
What were
I feel that
you
what
gonna say?
happened with
What?
him is that he went the more independent route.
yeah.
Like with everything that he started putting out, he'd rather have gone independent and keep all the money instead of, being with a major or, because I think he's with Rock Music, right? Rock Nation?
Yeah, but that,
Now, yeah.
now, yeah, because it was
Yeah.
Def Jam and then
Yeah, he was with Def Jam
But he
his
was
whole
on
career.
Def Jam. They
Yeah.
could have worked him better.
that's what I'm trying to
and
say.
built
I
him
just think
bigger.
that if anything, it had to be his decision because
But
I wouldn't
you-
say that nobody would even be in his way with his catalog of
Yeah.
music.
Right.
I don't think nobody could have told him no but him.
Yeah.
Not only
Because
that,
he
not
got
only his catalog of
undeniable-
music, his skill too.
Yeah.
Undeniable skill.
Yeah.
Hey, come on,
And He was able to adapt because he came from that late 90s, you know, spitter
Yes.
shit,
Yeah.
and he was able to adapt
He
into
was
like
on
the new
Clue
shit.
tapes, yo.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
F.A.
spit, yeah.
B.O.
Even that coming in with Clue.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
you know
He
another
had a-
one
he had a
tied
head
to
start
that
on
that I
shit.
felt like I wish went further with everything. Little Mo. I feel
Yeah.
like she is
Oh,
one
yeah.
of those just undeserved.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She don't get the credit she deserves,
Yeah.
and it's just
But
underrated.
she didn't accomplish as much as she should have.
She didn't.
Either. Like she had
But that's what I'm
big
trying to
songs
say.
on
I
it,
just
yeah.
feel like she could have had a bigger run.
They,
Because
you know why?
to-
I feel like because she was good at writing hooks, but there's a difference between writing hooks and writing songs.
No, but you look at songs like Superwoman. Look at songs like that's why I say with Fabulous. Fabulous would throw his verse on it, but those were her verses, those were her hooks. And I feel like if she kept that strong because her voice was big.
She had a big voice.
But
You understand what I'm
I
saying?
think she had bigger issues,
that music.
behavior wise and,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
label wise.
And they're
Yeah.
young too. Like you got to think about like how artists are groomed in the space. Like they're not really set up to make great decisions early on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like when they're early on, that's when they're the hottest, and when you're the
Yeah.
hottest, that's when you're getting exploited the most.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's never in the best interest of the label to make sure that they have an educated artist. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them end
To
up
this
learning.
day, shit.
Yeah, I mean, look at what happened with the Locks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't know about publishing. They was getting banged, and the next thing they knew, once they realized what was happening, it's like, oh, we got to get the fuck away from these niggas.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
Most
like,
people just retire after they first go around too.
you know, but like this is why it's important to know the business. You know,
that's-
especially
Yeah.
like
But
now.
but that's why definitely I would put Fab in my top 10
Yeah,
because
you had one more, right?
Yeah. Last one, Biggie or Pac?
Biggie.
Yeah, I was gonna say Brooklyn. Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Brooklyn.
Shout out to that, man. What did Biggie do recently? Oh, it was March 9th recently.
Yeah, recently, yeah.
Shout out to that.
Rest in peace.
That's it.
That's 10 shots, baby.
10 shots. Shout out to the Alchemist. Shout out to Rakim.
Yes,
Clips
sir.
over CNN.
Yes.
Shout out to the 2010s. Shout out to Half Baked and How High. I wrote Half Baked, but I feel like we never got to a definitive.
decision.
I said
Yeah, that's a
I said
tough-
half baked for
And
sure.
I said how hot.
Yeah,
So we gotta
I
split.
think
But but like I said, nothing after
that's a
one.
full argument that would have
Yeah.
to be had. Kanye, shout out to King's Disease 1. Rest in
Yes.
peace, So Dirty.
Yes.
Shout out to Fab Brooklyn. Shout out to Biggie Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mano Brooklyn,
Yeah.
choking content creators and
Yeah.
shit as they should be, because motherfuckers be too much with their content.
Yeah, look at the
Violations
questions.
and
You
shit,
wouldn't ask
yeah.
that with the cameras off.
Yeah, that's too
True
much.
indeed.
Once again, thank y'all brothers for being
Yes,
here.
sir.
Y'all got any
Thank
shout
y'all
outs
for
before
having
we wrap it up?
First off, shout out y'all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Yeah, definitely.
For me, shout out one.
Absolutely.
Shout out my boy
Ryo.
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 Record with
Matter of fact,
Ryo.
we need to get Ryo up on the show.
Yeah. The Platform Studios.
That's home.
Um,
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out this project.
Yes. Shout out to the
Shout out to
project
Emanate.
dropping.
Yeah,
Shout out to
Emanate.
Emanate.
Emanate, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. Shout out to your doctors too, bro.
Yeah, bro, for
I
real.
was having
Yes.
a thought the other day that doctors never want to find the cause of anything. They just want to keep. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to fix you.
Yeah.
They
So-
want to keep.
they
you-
wanna
you
treat
want to
you.
keep
Yeah, they
treating
wanna
you,
treat
yeah.
you.
You want to know what's crazy? I went down a rabbit hole, man, with that. So, I have a good friend, and she always says, because I feel like my perspective changed, where I just give them, I don't want to say the benefit of the doubt, but it is what it is. Whereas before, I would give them the soul, whatever. You said you gonna
Yeah.
fix me, and if you didn't, I'll be steaming mad. So she was like, "Look, you gotta understand that it's a practice. They don't call it a practice
Yeah,
because they know
for
what they're
nothing,
doing. They call it a practice because it's a practice." Then I had to think about it, right? They call it, like I said, the rabbit hole. They call them practitioners. What is a practitioner? I had to look it up. A practitioner is somebody who practices something.
Yeah.
So to even say nurse practitioner, medical practitioner, the whole definition is a person that's practicing medicine.
Yeah.
They
Their whole
practice
career. Their
whole career is based off of practicing.
Well, imagine they're working on a. Let's compare them to mechanics, right? They're working on a vehicle created by God. How can they fix it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's no check engine
Like
light.
they have to be almost godlike
Yeah.
to do what they
Figure out,
do.
yeah.
you know
Yeah,
what I'm
it's
saying?
definitely
That's why
going to
they
be.
develop a God complex. Like
Yeah.
a lot of
As
actors.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because
because
it's
of that.
definitely hard to be proactive with stuff. That's why everything is reactive. Something got to happen
Yeah.
to you, and then now we're going to try to fix that.
Yeah,
So-
so a lot of it is not preventative. It's
Yeah.
like you said, reactive.
Yeah, so that's why even with me not knowing what's causing it, that's the problem. If they knew what was happening, I'm pretty sure they would have gave me a pill
Right.
and would have had me on the pill for the rest of my life.
As well, yeah.
Yeah, problem.
And I would have just been back to
Yeah.
normal, but it would have been like on the condition of taking this
Yeah.
pill.
Yeah.
Magic pill.
Yeah, exactly.
And
So
they charge
give
too.
them a
They,
lot,
they,
because
they'll
a lot of
never.
them are real heroes, man, and they don't get the props that they deserve, bro.
no.
Even though they get the money, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of them are real heroes, bro.
Oh yeah,
Deserve
yeah.
it.
So that's my point, especially with my doctors. Like the approach that I have with understanding that they're human, understanding that it is a practice, and I just appreciate the transparency with my doctors. Whereas before, I feel like others with their reputation at stake, they're gonna give you the world or feed you the world. But my doctors, you're like, look, man, you came to us, we're gonna figure this out. Just have faith
Right.
and patience.
Right.
And that in itself,
Because y'all gonna figure it out together.
exactly.
Right.
And that in itself just and the embrace and the kind of I just felt like that kind of compassion means a lot to somebody who nervous about the unknown, to have somebody also being realistic with you and letting you know that we're gonna figure this out no matter how crazy it seems. It just seemed like you with me during the journey. You're not just telling me something just to get me on the ride.
Yeah.
Right.
And to this day, like, there's still medical firsts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yep.
anything is possible, but we wish you the best. We're glad
Appreciate
to see you here. Good energies, good vibes. The
Big
album
facts.
is out. Videos are coming. New projects
Listen
coming.
to that, cop that.
Shows
Go to
coming.
Emanate,
Content.
get that.
All
Web
that.
3,
All that.
NFTs, all that shit.
All that.
And shout out to the baby. Your lady's here,
Thank you
right?
guys. Nah, she took off. She
took
was
over.
here earlier.
Shout out
yeah.
to the missus.
Shout out to the family.
Yeah, shout
Yeah,
out to the
absolutely.
family. Shout out to my
the
girls.
family, man. Blood, you got any shout outs before we kick?
Yeah, real quick. Shout out to you, one man, with your Skull Hunter NFTs. I see you did the flip with the AI. Them shits look super dope.
Thank you.
And
bro.
I got some ideas, man. I want to talk to you about. So I'm gonna just hit you up on the
Yo,
DM.
man, holla at me, man. I'm always here for y'all. Whatever y'all need, man. I'm here to
Set that up. And Joe, man, yo, dope ass album again. Like I know we reviewed it last time. Enough props on the album and on all the success that's going to come your way.
Appreciate
I'm
you,
predicting
bro.
it now, and your health, bro.
Thank
Keep
you.
up with your health, bro.
Appreciate
God
you.
bless, you heard?
God bless.
VS, any shout outs, my bro?
Shouts to our guests, man. Once again, friends of the show, y'all are family. Y'all welcome back anytime. Shouts to Straight Fuego Studio. Shouts to Bright Teeth Whitening. Shouts to-
whitening, yes.
Shouts
Oh
to the-
yeah, I'm feeling fresh right now,
Oh,
B.
yeah,
got
yeah,
the,
you know,
got
got
the
the
$1
million dollar smile, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
$1
Shouts
smile.
to the gods, you know what I'm saying? Gahhd Cast, you know what I mean? Shouts to the family. Shouts to Timeless Product, man. We had a great time last night. That was a dope ass fucking venue we went to and shit.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We really have to reevaluate our lives and shit.
Yeah, I'll get into it more at another time. But there's points in life where you just kind of realize, like, we ain't doing it right, man.
Yeah.
Like,
We got to do something else.
Self-reflection.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it sucks when it's related to, like, finances.
Yeah.
Like, you never want to base your life off finances, or you never want finances to be the motivation. But sometimes you realize, like, yo, I'm just not getting enough bread, bro. Like, I
Yeah.
gotta step it up and get
Yeah.
money up so I can do things I want to do and live a way I want to live.
Yeah.
Shit.
And the thing is that
sometimes-
you realize that it's out there.
Yeah, it is. But
You
you
know
know
what I'm
what?
saying?
You know what I've noticed too? Sometimes a lot of it is also like the things that we do and the way we manage our shit.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like there's times where I've had to look at myself and be like, all right, bro, we're not ordering food tonight. Like we
Right.
gotta,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We gotta cut this, you know what I'm
No,
saying?
you're
We
right,
gotta
you're
learn to
right.
cut the
Yeah,
fat.
budget.
You got to
know what I'm saying?
readjust, yeah.
Yeah. Like, because it's like we could chop this now
Mm-hmm.
to enjoy it later. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, but it's
Yeah,
one
man.
of those things.
Nah, man. But shouts to y'all once again, man.
Shout out
to
to cameraman Marco.
Shout out to Marco.
I see him over here working the whole time, back and forth, back and forth.
You know I wasn't
He
gonna
ain't
let that
stopped
slide.
yet.
Stop playing.
Yeah,
no
Mr.
doubt.
Media,
Shouts-
yo.
Yep.
Shout out to
Mr.
Mr.
Media.
Media.
Shouts to him, man. Shouts to Miss Media.
Shout out to Straight Fuego Studios.
Yes,
Brother
sir.
F, as always. Shout out to our guests for coming through.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dolly and Luna Bright. Make sure y'all go get your teeth whitened.
Yeah, man.
You can get a discount if
I'm
you
on
tell
the
her the
way.
guard sent you.
I'm on the way.
Shout out to the brother C's. Shout out to all the good people at Casa del Lobo, Jersey City. It's a secret society. All we ask is trust. If you want to get in, you got to hit them up, become a member. Everybody's not accepted, but if you work hard enough, like Kim K said, you can get in the building. Shout out to them. Beautiful venue, beautiful staff, beautiful food. The DJ Rock On, killed it all night.
He didn't miss, yo.
When he played the Harold Melvin.
Yeah. Oh, we was all there.
Never in a club. I've never been in a club, spot, restaurant, whatever, where they play Harold Melvin, I Miss You. Yeah, and that shit hit different with the tequila in the system.
Oh, wow. Ain't no telling.
That shit was good.
I had the bottle
of
rosé.
Shout out to that. Shout out to the good brother Sammy putting all that together.
Big facts. Shout out to Max Low.
Yep, shout out to the brother Max, everybody that was there, the brother Tito.
Yeah.
All
Twin.
Good
my security was there. Twin was there.
Absolutely. We're gonna fade out with the shout out to Cool Kai, shout out to Nike. Hopefully y'all can get it together.
Yeah, man.
Get some type of collaboration. But if you do, you owe us a little portion of that.
Yeah, we're trying to bring it together, man. Connect the dots.
Let's fade out with the love song of the week. Before we do that, do remember, chin up, chest out, carry yourself with honor. Carry yourself with pride. Let's fade out with Jodeci. Cry for You. I'm sorry, it's a slow jam, but I've been on my Jodeci shit.
This guy. You should have seen him last night.
Like I told my co-host earlier, I actually put the Joe in Jodeci. Pause.
Hey, yo.
So,
this show today.
Not like that. Not like that. I meant sing-wise, vocally. I put the vocal tones.
Yeah, just play the song, man.
Yeah, play the song, brother. Just Cry for You. This is Jodeci, the Ember's Love Song of the Week for episode 139 of the Great American Hip Hop Debate Podcast.
Hey, no singing, all right?
It's been a while, gone, and we out. I can't live without you.
No.
That's free. One's gonna produce my R&B album. It's gonna be called One Love. I mean, get with it, get hit.
I love it.
And we out. Blood, I hit you on the rebound.
Yeah.
Hey, what up, my nigga?
No doubt.
Motherfucker.